So
Guys,
we are going to kind of work this on the back end while we discuss. What a mess. It only it only took forever. Well, I appreciate you guys sticking around. This is the Faceless EX podcast. Yeah, thank you for sticking around. This is the official pre-show. Are you guys? Is everybody psyched? How many people we got up in the chat?
We're very excited, and I think while Malik can work on those issues, we should do some introductions in case there's some people here that never heard of any of us before.
really? Other people never heard of us before?
I'm sure there's at least like 3. So for those 3 people, I'll kick it off. I am Jeez Ruiz, aka the Thirsty Games. If you haven't been here before, this is the EX podcast. We have 4 wonderful people here every week to talk about Teppen, and we like to think of ourselves as specialists in each color, with myself being green. And with that, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
So, name is Chris D, and I stream under the name Christopher_D. Very simple. Yeah, I probably my favorite color is black, but I've been playing Teppen pretty much since it launched, and I've been having a lot of fun with this game. Try to stream it as often as I can, my busy schedule, but yeah, I love watching other streams too, and just talking about the game, which is why I'm here.
Yes, and I'm Io the Boat. I like to make content, and my color is purple because I like to frustrate opponents with halts and resonate abilities for big stats.
I represent red, the color that everybody really likes right now. On play damage, attack buffs, I'm there. Let's see.
But who are you?
Could show ourselves on the Discord call. Would be the safest way to do it.
Oh, we're gonna use Discord for that?
We could. I am having a difficult time working OBS Ninja. If you want to
Turn our
try it
on
out
here.
too.
the big reveal.
The big reveal. I mean, we were late because we were building up the hype. That's what we were doing. Yep.
We were just doing some halts, stalling the game. It's okay. Payoff's coming. Soon you're gonna get hit with X Hunters or a 2580 Hasenko. It's gonna be great.
Sounds like my alley.
I was like, that's just my kind of thing.
Yeah, but these days I'm actually reducing my opponent's unit attacks to 0.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Yes.
pretty good.
Yeah, that is my purple way currently, is reducing units to 0 attack so that I can fly over them and then eat at my opponent's health. All these cards were from the Force Seekers, and I'm just really surprised that all these strong cards were in the set, but nobody knew how to put them together until like I did a few months back.
It was all me.
It was my deck, Smile.
Yeah, sometimes it just takes like maybe a change in balance, because around that time there were a lot of popular aggro decks that were all about attack buffing, right? So if you wanted to debuff their attack, it was almost impossible. Some matchups, but there were a lot of like aggro nerfs that happened with the last balance change, which I think helped your case even more.
True that. Yeah, right now the meta is pretty perfect for playing a 0 attack deck. I really do feel like I'm playing purple again.
It's just a very control-friendly meta overall, I'd say, which is what purple likes to do, as well as some other colors that we'll get into.
Sure does. But did you guys know what happens if you put two purple control players against each other in first round Grand Prix? You want me to tell you?
You waste about 20 minutes.
Goes the time.
It goes to time because nobody can play any cards because everything target units.
Oh, I did not know that.
Me and my opponent both did not draw any units at all, and we had a double defeat.
I thought that was in the GP.
It was.
Oh, I thought you were talking about EXGP.
Nah, Grand Prix.
Was that final round?
Your Grand Prix.
Nah, first.
Oh, that would have been horrible if it was final round.
No, it was the final round. It was the first match.
Oh, yeah. It was the first round of final round. First game of final round.
So the game was just like, I'm getting rid of two purple players right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And I immediately went to Twitter.
I've actually never seen a double defeat in a GP match, let alone final round.
Take a look at my Twitter.
Take a look at my Twitter.
Twitter.com/Iowa the boat.
It's got the receipts.
I do have the receipts. But you know what? I felt like it was just karma, because I'm a big believer in karma. And when two purple players lame out, other players, it's gonna come back, and it sure did. It sure did. I was worried too when I saw my opponent was 0 with Rakoha. It's like this guy has to be aggro, please. And then he played like 2 cards, and then we stopped playing anything at all. I didn't even get to play a card from my hand. But that's purple.
Just happens that way. There's always going to be those games. Yeah.
Do you think he was trying to wait you out?
I wish. Like, I would have even taken him playing a card at the last 30 seconds, but he just did not have another unit.
Do you think any of the decks that we're going to see tonight are capable of bricking?
Oh, indefinitely, yeah, for sure. I do think that bricking can happen because it's just chances, right? If you draw into 5 cards that don't do anything, you kind of just lose. It's very rare, but it can happen.
So just like that, we up to 3 people. We're using Discord, Iowa, so if you can get your camera working.
You can see us with our TEPPEN shirts.
Oh, I might end up ruining everything though, because once I join in.
Oh no.
Hold up.
I'm sure anyone that's out there that streams on a regular basis knows just how chaotic. Oh, dude, the brainwash.
There you go. Iowa brainwash.
That happened before, didn't it?
Utsusemi technique.
Yeah, we're here.
I was like, I don't want to be the worst color anymore. I want to be the 3rd worst. Give me green.
So true.
I can copy that.
I feel like purple.
Now it looks like I'm the one holding everything up.
Wow. Okay, you see some behind the scenes stuff. We're actually really close together. You guys are buddies.
Amazing. Hanging.
Yeah, anyone that streams knows the pain. Something goes wrong, what do? You just spend an hour and 30 getting things together. We're gonna blow up my PC? I don't think so. No grumpin' way. You cried about it. I almost wanted to. Almost did. But let's get back on track. And let's talk about the World Championship. So we got an agenda here. We're very methodical on this podcast every time, right? So this is this day 1 or is this day 2?
Technically, I think it'd be top. We're talking about TEPPEN Worlds, right? Top 4.
Yeah.
Starting.
We're gonna see top 4 tonight.
Starting at 11 p.m. PST. So just a few hours.
And that is That's messing with me because I'm in Eastern, so I'm like 11. I'm like, wait a minute, that's happening right now. So as we know the 32 players on the lineup, and in 2.5 short hours, we will know who the top 4 are.
Sure will.
And let's see. Now, who are these 32 players? Where did they come from?
We know 20 came from those sweet tour points that everyone's been working towards all year that you get at the end of the season. There's a reason for those. They served a purpose up until September, right? That's when they stopped serving a purpose for the year.
Yeah. I mean, they're still counting tour points for the rest of the year. But as I understand it, it won't have any implications for Worlds next year. It'll just be for like an emblem for anyone that finished in the top 100.
Are you guys going to be working toward tour points, even though we already have our finalists?
I mean, I'd still like to
Indirectly.
get top 100. So, yeah,
I
unintentionally.
want that sweet Kuma emblem.
Do you really?
Sure do.
I do.
We are in a Kuma season, so it gives people incentive. I'll probably grind a little bit myself since it's all over and done with.
What's tour points? Tour. What's another T word we can use?
Tournament
Tour points. Total points. Are the games already recorded or is it live? I mean, I assume we're gonna see the
What do you
top
mean?
4 live. I'm intentionally not getting top 100, says Dongo. Why though?
I want to get the Akuma
Oh,
badge
because he
just
doesn't
so I can
want
make.
a Kuma emblem.
I want the conscious decision to not have an Akuma out there. That way, you know, when someone's like, there could be a total of 100 Akumas out there, I'd be like, no, I killed one. Killing one of those emblems. One emblem will never be used. That's why you get top 100.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Get it? With how toxic I get, I doubt that'll happen. That sounds like me. That sounds like me. We're all a little toxic. But I noticed that's kind of the strength of this community is that like everybody, they kind of want to see that salt. They don't want to see it because they wish anything poor on anyone. But it's like, I mentioned my boyfriend Timo streaming, and people wanted to see him stream Teppen even though he gets salty. Like, especially because he gets salty. Like, everyone's
All
so
do.
supportive, even in the face of just getting mad.
We all know.
We
Happens.
all know. We got 20 players from tour points, 12 players from the regional competitions, and those 12 people that came in from the regions have been seeded. Let's see, and this is a website everyone can access. This is just on the TEPPEN Championship 2020 page. You can put this in the chat. You want to follow along, but it's basically your information center. And you got the broadcast start time in big bold letters, can't miss it. And you got the
Can't
bracket
miss it,
here.
but a lot of
We'll
us
take a
do.
closer look at the bracket. But this page is a lot of information, and it told us what hero arts everyone's using. But do we know what cards are in these decks?
No.
We do not.
No.
We can make some strong, educated guesses.
Exactly.
But
Like,
still a little nice.
I definitely expect to see some Angelo Credo somewhere, right?
Oh yeah.
In some of these green decks.
Yes, Angela Credo.
Of course.
Classic strong card.
Yeah, already
Do we
we're
know
looking
the-
at Hey Nico is pretty surprising.
Mhm.
I think that's the only Hey Nico in
Yeah,
the
that's
roster.
there's a big head turner there. But yeah, you can see all the hero arts that everyone's bringing. We've done, I think everyone in this podcast has done an individual analysis on all the hero arts being used, data representing frequency of certain decks. So, like, what are the top three? What are the top three decks that we're going to see in terms of number?
In terms of number, are we talking for the top 4 or just for all 32?
Just for now, like, how many? What was the most popular deck?
Well, we do know the most popular hero art chosen was Chris's favorite, Jill
Yep.
Valentine's antibody
Jill.
activation.
Love her. It's great.
Yeah, antibody was huge. That was kind of a huge discovery right before these decks were due. So I think people just kind of found that and kind of latched onto it, right?
It's,
Yeah, I
it's a
think-
pretty good hero art.
Sure is. It's really good for the red mirror match, which I think was kind of why it was kind of brought. So you just shield your way out of problems.
Exactly. And I stopped scrolling on these two, and that is because Kyle P and Melinda Gloss, they're very special in how they managed to get into the tournament. Because you see, they took the tour points, the top 20, but they say 22nd, 23rd. How did they get into the tournament?
It was,
I believe that's. Oh, go ahead, Isla.
No, go ahead. Oh, it was 2 players above them that were unable to participate, so then it went on to the next 2 players, which would be 22nd and 23rd.
Exactly. So there was. Oh man, it was like I was feeling like the secondhand stress from it all, knowing that Kyle was really close to getting in, and it was really close. They had to like go through the process of like kind of like probing all the players, say, hey, can you make it here? And he basically had to. It was all contingent on like 2 or 3 people saying no, I can't make it, and it happened.
Little known false fact: that picture of Kyle and Belinda right there, that's exactly when they received the news that they made it in due to 2 participants on elimination.
I mean, he just gave a thumbs up, dude.
Yeah.
Did it.
Nice.
Yeah, I know we saw the all the player profiles from all these guys through the last official stream, and this was it was a lot of fun. They especially between these two, they're rivals, they're friends. I'm really interested to see if. Well, wait. We'll have to see on the bracket. I forget how far apart they are. If they'll get to actually play each other.
They were pretty much on opposite ends.
Oh, really? Oh my god.
The
Unfortunate.
dream is possible.
They could still meet up in the
Potentially, yes.
finals.
No. Like obviously
Just the
people in the
precedent
different
of it.
blocks of the bracket wouldn't face each other until the final 4 because you have to get out of your block to get into the top 4.
Yeah, so let's see. How much money are we playing for here? How much money are we gonna see enter the ring?
I believe the winner gets around enough for Geisha Morgan.
It's enough for one skin, dude. 5 million yen. Which we got it in our notes here. How much is that worth? $48,000. Just about.
That's a whopping big prize pool. And
It's a little bigger than our community tournaments for sure.
A little bit, yeah. I mean,
A little bit, yeah.
I mean the transfer from dollars to yen. I mean, it's really just $50. No, it's big money, big prizes. We don't have Dragon Boost, do we?
Now,
Not
there's
sure about this year.
Yeah, there's certain products from certain sponsors that I believe the contestants are winning as well. I mean, they already got um, a few things for like streaming setups. I believe there would be more.
Oh yeah, that's right. So all the participants got some sweet some swag. Got some swag to stream with, so that even if they don't do well here, they can still maybe see them streaming their own gameplay in the future. That'd be cool.
Yeah. The laptops were provided by MSI, I believe.
Oh yeah,
Yes, that is correct.
that good stuff.
So props to them for, supplying players with all the equipment and so on. All of our other lovely sponsors for keeping Teppen going.
Absolutely. Did you guys let me think here. What were you guys how did you guys feel about the last year's tournament? How did it make you feel?
Sure.
Last year's tournament made me very confident in Teppen's longevity and also community. And I see a familiar face right there in the stream, Last Guardian.
Ooh, yeah, Last Guardian.
He's
got-
the last person on the page. Save the best for the last.
That's because he's the last
Just worked
Guardian.
out that way.
If he was the top, he'd be the first Guardian.
Last
True, true.
qualifier, the last Guardian. Yeah. Very fitting.
It's interesting to me that some of the people that do really well with Teppen, until this listing all came out, I didn't really have like a face associated with them. I didn't really know what they looked like. Dongo, that was the first time we'd seen him, at least as far as I know.
Yeah, you never revealed his face before then, as far as I know.
Big face reveal. He could also be the dog.
I'm calling it. He's probably the dog.
He's probably the dog. He's
Probably
not playing Amy though. Hot tip, Dongo's the dog, dude. But yeah, Memiot, I hadn't seen Memiot before, even though he streams occasionally.
Yeah, he's always in the Twitch streams.
Oh yeah, Stream Monster. Who else? Spooky, we'd seen Spooky. Does her cosplay stuff, so
now and
kind of
then.
know what she looks like. Seen Steven, the true Asian. Doggo the Dongo, dude. Kyle P. Know him from Marvel. We've seen him before. We've seen the ghost of Kyle P.
I mean, the most
Narikawa?
exciting face reveal was definitely Narikawa.
Yeah, that was another thing. I was like, okay, let's see it.
Oh yeah, because he's usually the
Yeah,
The red
The little-
panda.
Panda.
red panda. Yeah.
So
Actually,
you know
did
he's
an
using
edit
good
of
software.
his,
Catches the face perfectly.
yeah, he actually did an edit of his introduction video that they showed on the official stream. He did an edit of it with his panda in place of him instead.
Oh, that's
Saying,
cool.
Oh, I
like, all the
gotta
same
see
lines.
that.
It's pretty good.
I need
Didn't
to
see
go
that?
watch that after that.
He posted it on Twitter.
Here's the real reveal.
The real reveal.
Yeah, that's basically what he said. Like, yeah.
Let's see. Oh, we got Ryuzu. So we have a total of 5 NA representatives, correct?
Got 5.
That's correct. Yeah.
At 5 of 32.
Yep. Which is actually the second most from any region.
Oh yeah, this is completely dominated by the Japanese community. They brought everybody. Kame-san, I don't think we saw Kame-san's face before this either. Right?
I haven't.
I don't
I
know
have.
much about Kame-san, honestly.
No.
Kame-san is usually he streams as like a turtle. If I remember
Yeah.
correct. He's
Yeah, they call him the turtle.
VTuber. Yeah.
He's doing the devil trigger thing with his pointing up, but he's not. He didn't bring devil trigger. What's
He's
that
like,
about?
only up from here.
And then Earth. How could I forget Earth? Number 1. I don't think we'd seen Earth before, right?
I noticed I think he's wearing a jersey, right? And it has his name on it. Does he come from another game or sport?
Not that I know of. But I mean, he
Yeah,
is
I don't
Earth,
know.
so
He's
definitely.
that's really cool. He's just flexing that jersey with his name on it.
He's not ticked off enough, dude. Yeah, all the player profiles for the NA players were a lot of fun. You can find those pretty easily if you just like type in player's name and then TEPPEN. You'll find it on YouTube. And we won't really go into each player as much unless we have a lot of time. But if you click on these, you can find a lot of data about them. Kind of figure out general win rate, what decks they have used the most in ranked. So take some time, look them up, see their history. You can see Earth's frighteningly strong history on ranked.
Definitely has the best numbers.
Second,
overall.
first, fifth, second.
All of his emblems. Yeah, he has a crazy collection.
So many 2200s.
Yeah,
Looking
that's...
where he was in January, that's almost 2300 points.
I'll post the link here for the esports site. You can go into each individual player site, guys, and click on their picture to get their profile page.
So, yeah, I noticed, you guys pointed out, almost 2,300 back in January, which is crazy. So,
Oh, and August too.
Would,
Yeah.
when was the first time someone hit 2,300? Pretty recent though, right?
That was definitely a little more recent.
Yeah, I normally don't pay attention to that.
They did back then.
I know I'll see screenshots. Twitter, if you follow people on Twitter, you're gonna get the, you'll be the first to know. You'll see all those screenshots in the last week of ranked and be like, I can do that, and then it's a little harder than that.
I guess it might have been August, because if you go to Rana's profile, he might be over 2,300.
That look he's given, dude.
Yeah.
Murder phase.
That's the look you get when
They
you
were
ask,
both
"Hey,
above
what's in that X
2,300
deck?"
and Earth dropped.
What's in that X deck?
Number right.
Ooh, if he got 2,300, he
Oh,
lost it
wasn't
because I don't
August.
see it.
Oh. Interesting. It doesn't show it there.
It's
They
true,
both
too,
got
because
2,300
they
at one
dropped
point.
it.
Oh, but once you
we
get that
saw
high,
it.
it's so easy to just lose all the points.
What month it was. They were back and forth. 1 month.
Dang.
Yeah, but these are pretty good stats because it kind of just shows you how much work they put into the tour to get into their placement. So if we end up seeing another tour, this data is very useful.
And what kind of restrictions did they have to bring? Because everyone, I don't see any repeats of heroes within someone's deck list. So it's not just a restriction on hero art. You can't have the same hero art twice, but you can't have the same hero twice in your lineup, right?
Right, 3 decks and then none of the same hero.
That's why you'll see some cases where it's, Raging Demon and then Ouroboros in the same list set, I should say, over Ashura. Like, you can't do both Ashura and Raging Demon in your lineup, or Ouroboros Dark Destruction in the same lineup, and so on. Like, I think it was only a restriction for black, as far as I can tell, because for red, it's very cut and dry. You're pretty much using antibody with Jill. You're pretty much using intervention with Annie. If you're gonna bring Ryu, it's, I don't know, I guess it's Denjin, if you're Dango. He's not also gonna bring Shinku. To me, it feels like black has the most variety and the most playable hero arts, so that rule restriction really handicaps them a little bit, if you think about it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that, well, if you could run multiple hero arts of a singular hero, what do you think we'd see a lot of?
Ashuras and Raging Demons, possibly Ouroboros and Dark Destructions. But
Oh, that's one too.
I agree with that.
might even, maybe Mimiat would have brought Dive Bomb and Spike Launch.
Oh, that's a good point. I would have played 3 Dantes if I was allowed. Rocket launcher and antibody. Yay!
Yeah, that's.
Oh, yeah,
I never even thought about it as only being a black restriction, but it's really the only heroes where most of them have 2 very competitive, viable hero arts.
Yeah, that's definitely a truth. And so they all have 3 decks, and when they go into a set, I believe they have to choose 2. They have to blind pick 2 decks.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds so stressful. You have to pretty much with
Yeah,
some of these
also-
matchups,
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
gonna have to be like a read.
Yeah. Obviously, you can see your opponent's lineup, so the idea is, sometimes you have to just guess what they're also going to bring out of their 3, and then try and counterpick that to, give you the better advantage. But sometimes, yeah, you're just guessing or just going with your 2 best decks that you think you're going to win with. The goal is to win with both of them. You have to win with 1 each. So when you win with 1 deck, you can't use the same deck again, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's gonna be, yeah, they're just some real big standouts. Hey Nico on Earth.
I mean, it's
Wesker Virus
also
point out.
thanks to the community tournament we had earlier this month. Like we know that just from playing in that type of format too, there's such a huge mental game that goes in with picking your decks and anticipating what your opponent's going to use, and then deciding even too what you're going to pick first too, because that's also a blind pick, right? You pick which 2 decks you're bringing, and you also blind pick which deck you're going to use in the match. So there's a lot of mental mind games that goes on with that.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I mean,
I think there are advantages.
I've been learning a lot in terms of how to play in tournaments lately, and I never thought there would be that much of a divide between like just playing the game well and like how do I play in tournaments. Playing on the ladder is way different, and we've talked about that in previous podcasts, but it's going to be super prevalent here, especially when so much money's on the line.
Yeah, most definitely. This is not only for the money, but also for like honor, maybe some prestige, trying to take away the last year's seed of Last Guardian, to be the next TEPPEN World Champion.
Yo,
Team
imagine
trophy.
it. You could sweep that twice.
The Dongo Trophy.
Oh yeah, the trophy.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Just
is
a
there a
trophy doing
picture of
this.
that?
Yeah. I don't know if it's on the site. They have revealed it in one of their shows.
Yeah, they did. I put it in my video too. It's like this. I would kill to have a trophy like that. A trophy you could point at people with. Oh, it's great.
Oh man, whoever wins with that, they gotta like do some swagger and put like a little tip on it, and then just start playing with the trophy. Play Teppen with the trophy.
Oh, that's outrageous.
Fastest Shinku ever with the trophy.
It's definitely a flex.
With trophy. Tool assisted. Well, it says with the Japanese citizens, they could get a professional license for esports. That kind of sounds dope. I don't know if you can move to Japan and get that kind of bonus. Just kidding. What else? Did we go through all the rules? Blind pick 2 decks. Gotta win with both, I believe.
Yeah, I
Correct.
said you have to win with both decks. So if you win with 1, you're not allowed to use that for the rest of the set, but it is only 2 out of 3 because you have to win with 2 decks.
Okay.
So the sets can go quick in theory. I wouldn't be surprised if day 1 of the top 32 went really long. Just from the way I looked at the bracket and the matchups, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot of 2-1s, not that many 2-0s, right?
Mhm.
I don't know if there was that many sweeps.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
like,
don't know how any of that went yet.
We can only
Yet.
guess for now.
Yeah, that it's
Find out soon.
it's really gonna be information overload. Like, I'd assume that once we're finished and we transfer you guys over to, where we need to go, it's gonna be just information dump. It's gonna be like, here's what happened. The dust clears. Your top four. Yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen when that time comes, but a lot of suspense has been
Kira's probably
building.
gonna reveal that. We are almost 2 hours away, guys.
Yeah, that's crazy. 2 hours away. So
Should
let's
have a
look
little
at
counter on the screen somewhere.
count. Oh, that's what I should have done. That's what I should have done.
We had more pressing matters at the time.
Like audio.
Yeah, that's true.
Timers are nice flair that we get to have when we don't have audio being dead an hour before we start the stream.
Ridiculous. I mean, sometimes you take all the precautions and still stuff happens. But we in there, boys. We got 80 people that are ready to rumble, ready to watch this rumble. Let's look at the bracket. Let's take a look at the bracket here. This is what they got on. I think they have the brackets on. Let's see, where can they find the bracket? Because we got a big image here, but where
Should be
can
the
the
same
viewers
website.
find this bracket?
Should be on the same web page as all
Yeah.
the 20.
Oh, you know what? It's at the top. That's right.
2 players.
It's on the site.
esports.teppenthegame.com.
That's right. So it's on the same page we were just looking at. It does start at 11 PST. Let's see
Sure
here.
does.
We got.
Gonna be
We can-
streaming right up until it starts.
We'll keep you guys company.
We're all waiting.
So let's see. One thing to point out is our seeded players, the ones from regionals, and those were. We had. They were all spread out too, right? Because they were seeded in that way.
You want me to break down the seating?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you can also tell by looking at the bracket, it has ORC next to their name. That was a regional qualifier.
Yeah.
that's right.
So, yeah, basically the way it works was everyone that qualified through the online region qualifiers back in October was given a seed, either in the top of the bracket that you can see here for each block, or near the middle. They kind of did like 4 seedings per block. So there's 2 on the top side, 2 on the bottom side, and they have them on opposite ends, if that makes sense. But they also have seeding for the top 4 in tour points. So literally everyone else that qualified through tour points was placed in these brackets by a lottery pick. They put everyone's name in a ball or whatever, rolled a wheel rounds, took their name out, and then put them in a spot that they designated before picking the name for the sake of fairness. And all things considered, they did a pretty good job. We'll see once we look at the big picture here that there are some awkward matchups in the first round. But to break down the seeding, in the A block, we have Panapu from Japan. He was second in the online region qualifiers overall, but he actually got the #1 spot for online region because Rana, who already qualified with 4 points, finished first in that qualifier. You can't qualify twice. And then we have our boy Memiot, who qualified 3rd in Europe at the second seeding there. We have Advanced Miracle X, who was 2nd in Asia Pacific. And then Kuran from Japan, who was 3rd in tour points, was the last seed there. But as you can see, he gets an awkward first round matchup against Kame-san, the turtle, who was 5th in tour points because of the lottery. Kame-san just barely missed the top 4, so he didn't get a seed. and then they throw him against Kuran in the first round. Pretty crazy.
That is going to be crazy.
Yeah. But moving down to the B block, I'm gonna scroll down there for me really quick. We have Spooky,
Spooky.
from NA's finest. Who did
Cue
very
the
well.
Magic Girl music.
Yes. Spooky, yeah. So we have Spooky, we have Last Guardian, third in APAC. We have Ong for Europe, second. And then at the bottom we have Leia, who was second overall in tour points from Japan. A very good player. Actually, I believe he entered one of our very own community tournaments once.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to play against them, but
So he does have some tournament experience.
That looks like a name I've sent money to for winning the tournament.
It looks
I
like a name I've
specified
lost
for winning
to.
a tournament. That sounds shady otherwise.
But you also see Kyle Pease in there. He was thrown in there from the lottery. So this is actually the only block that has more than one North American qualifier in there, I believe. Actually, I'm wrong. Because...
No,
No,
you're
am I right?
You are
Okay,
right.
I'm right. Yeah. I don't know why I'm second guessing myself.
but the only one with
Yeah, 'cause
two.
Ryuzu was in the A block.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
this is the only block with two North American.
Yeah, two of our representatives there, Spooky and Kyle P, which at least they're kind of far apart. But if they want to make it
Yes.
into the top four, it's gonna have to be one of them. So it's
If they
Please.
do meet each other, or if they did meet each other, because it already happened, it would have been in the top 8, and the winner of that would have made it to finals, which, pretty sad, but these things
It's-
happen in tournaments.
it's so weird to that this is unfolding this way, just because the tense changes. It's like, well, if it did happen this way, because it
We're trying to predict
already
the past.
happened.
It's very rare when you're trying to predict the past.
Very
How it
weird.
already happened.
But look, we have Narikawa versus Last Guardian in the first round.
Yes, that's another really interesting first round matchup, and I don't know. A lot of people are expecting Last Guardian to be the sort of underdog, even though he won last year, just because so much has changed since then. And he admits he hasn't been playing that much, and he did finish third for APAC, so he had to work for it.
I can see
Is-
the argument for an underdog.
Is it one and done? Is it single elim?
Yes. You do the best of 3, and then after that, you're knocked out. It's single elimination brackets.
It's brutal out here.
As much as I really wanted like a TEPPEN jersey, just to be in this and say 2 games, you have 2 bad games and you're out. That's
Just
scary.
get 2 bricks. That's all I can say.
That's how it is, man.
Two-
That's the nature of the game. This game is very unforgiving at times. You just gotta get your draws.
It's a lot of pressure, and I know some of these players have, expressed anxiety. But hey, man, if you can get there, I think you can go all the way, especially if you got that tourney experience.
I mean, there's no way you're getting to the top of a tournament like this without a good amount of pressure.
Exactly. Especially if you're doing tour points, consistent pressure over every month.
All right. So we're up in the C block now.
Seablock.
Let me mention the seeds here. We got Max005, number 1 for APAC. So he has a very nice seeding up there. We have Dongo, another one of North America's finest, seeded there. Overall 4th in the online qualifier, but due to the fact that someone already had qualified, which was Ryuzu, got first place, I believe, he managed to get in there into the top 3 due to a technicality. So, yep, he earned it. And then we have, I believe it's Chi from Japan, another online qualifier from Japan, and then Gagetsu with a very generous seeding down there as well for his tour point. He finished very high overall as well. So what's the most interesting first round matchup to you guys here?
Probably Melinda Gloss versus Gagatoo, but that's just because I don't know. When I saw the player profile for Melinda Gloss, I'm like, all right. Or I mean, he's an English teacher. I'm an English teacher. So it's like,
Right.
I already want him to win. I know he's close friends with Kyle, so I kind of want him to succeed. But Gagatoo is a very pretty accomplished name in Teppen.
Right.
Most interesting to me has got to be Tarako Man and Dongo, just because Tarako Man's a crazy player, but also it's really hard to play against Dongo if you don't know how to play against Dongo. So I'm very curious to see how that turns out.
Well, I mean, I knew that one was special. I just wanted to say something that someone else wasn't going to say.
I think Dango Tarakman is the most interesting one, just because of the way Dango plays, the way he builds his decks. He probably has the most unique decks out of the entire lineups in the top 32, I think. I don't think anyone else has brought anything like it. And I did call him the wild card / dark horse of the tournament. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up doing a lot of damage, but he does have to go through Tarakoman first if he did do that.
Yeah, and Tarakoman's not a very light player because Tarakoman was doing very well. He won last year's Japanese qualifiers for TEPPEN World Championship 2019, and then also he placed second in the TEPPEN World Championship 2019. So this is a very decorated and strong player. I remember seeing his name a lot back last year. So seeing Tarakomon versus Dongo, definitely the most interesting bracket here. For me, how I would explain playing against Dongo, because I've played against Dongo, is you will never have a moment to rest because Dongo's always on his next thing. Playing against Dongo, you should be expecting to have no breathing room. It's just like something after something, right? That's how I would explain playing against Dongo. So I think Tarakomon will, see that, and then if he's not ready for it, it's gonna be a surprise. That dark horse wild card thing you were saying.
Yeah, he has some of the most erratic deck choices in the whole lineup. Move over to block D.
Yeah. So to finish out the last block, we have K4, I believe is how you say it. He was from Europe. Yeah, I don't really know
K4?
exactly how you say it, but yeah, he placed first overall. He did really well. And then fifth in the online qualifiers for Japan was High. But again, since so many, high places in the Japan qualifiers were already in there from sort points, he got in, which is good. And then we have another North American representative, the True Asian, third overall in the North American qualifiers, so he was a shoo-in. And then to round it out, in the very last seed, we have Earth, the number one in tour points. What do you guys think of this side of the bracket?
I want to see M. Luke Brown play against Earth.
Could happen.
Could happen.
Potential round 2 matchup.
It's really stacked. There's a lot of great players that I recognize from this bracket.
Oh man,
Taiga, Rana.
There's so many killers.
I think this is actually the deadliest block, because if you look at how much of the top 10 tour points is in there, and then you mix it up with like the online qualifiers that did really well, it's really scary. Like one of the scariest first round matchups is Earth versus Kodama, because Kodama top 10 in tour points, nothing to slouch at, even though Earth is considered the best in the world. That's a very scary matchup.
Goodness, yeah, this is. I didn't realize just how many of these top 10 players are right here, and this is just gonna be wild. This is gonna be wild. I do hope we see like a. Well, I guess it would be cool to see everything, wouldn't it? It would be cool to see like if they just recorded those games, just to see kind of how it went down. I really am curious to see some of these matchups, especially round 1, right?
I will say there is an X player in this block, so I am biased on who I am cheering for.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's okay. Fewer Dantes than X.
And yeah, Rana brought Heart Tank, and then Ashura and Ouroboros, which is pretty interesting lineup. I don't think anyone else brought a similar list to that.
He's like,
Very
hold on,
unique.
I gotta make up for this honesty with some degeneracy.
Yeah, it's pretty smart though. I think it's a good lineup.
We'll definitely save our picks, but like kind of we've gone over everybody here. We'll wait till the end to kind of share our picks before we head out. But for now, just kind of keep in the back of your head, just think about it. Suppose we can move on. Are you guys ready to move on?
Yeah.
So,
ready.
I guess we could go into.
Pro Second Stroke.
You guys want to do kind of hero art analysis? I guess we could dissect everything. I know Chris went through that on his stream already, looking at every single round one matchup and thinking about what are they gonna pick, what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
But that might be a little
there's
bit.
some awkward matchups for these players for sure. But I don't know if we have to get into every detail since we are on time.
We actually have a little bit of time if you want to talk about I'd say like highlights. What are the highlights? What are the most contentious matchups? If you have like notes or if you have any recollection of what you found.
I have a couple notes, but they're just like, in general right now, off the top of my head. I mean, a lot of it's just based off of hero art choices and how I think those decks would perform given the state of everything else that's in there right now. Because it is a very huge, like wide variety of decks that they're bringing, right? Japan didn't mess around. They went tall for the most part. There's a matter of control here and there. I feel like the Japan meta is leaning more towards, lots of like slow, heavy building momentum into like that explosive payoff, right? Which is why you see Ashura, which is why you're seeing Spike Launch, Rakoha, Temptation. Like those are very popular decks that seems only Japan brought, right? But then when you look at North America, it kind of leans more towards an aggro, faster-paced play style, which makes sense to me because that's kind of what NA has been known for. Mixing it up with Dive Bomb, some Devil Breaker, of course, whatever Dango's bringing is always aggro. And then you see a matter of like Jill kind of across the board just because she's really strong right now. And that kind of fills in, both areas where it can be really strong mid-range and gain a lot of tempo early, but it can also control a lot. So overall, I really like the variety, but I feel like once some of those control decks run into some of the smaller decks, like the aggro decks, it might be a little bit awkward for them. Overall, I largely prefer the control decks just because, like I said before, we are in a controlled meta, but I don't know what you guys think.
Oh, we're absolutely in a control meta.
Just a little bit.
I think we are in a control meta, but there's also some deck builds out there that kind of like counter the control meta, which is how it's supposed to be. So it's like a control meta and then counter decks to control decks, which in my opinion is Ashura Senku is a really good hero art to apply pressure to control decks.
So why do you think Japan mostly went with Ashura over Ouroboros? Can you tell us, Iowa?
Ashura over Ouroboros? I actually don't think that there's too much of a similarity unless like you really are betting on that Ashura Senku is a reanimate build, because it could be a few different builds. It can be mono black, it could be dual color, it could be the reanimate stuff. So I wouldn't really put them together, because all these players that are playing Ashura Senku, it doesn't mean that they are playing a deck that's comparable to Ouroboros. I feel like they offer two different things. But I
Saying
do
it
like
might not be
Ashura
a Churro,
Senku.
so.
Ashura Senku just is a hero art that takes away interaction, which is exactly what you want when you're ahead of the game, or you're in this like big tournament, right, where there's like a lot on the line, where people are fighting for honor. So once you have Ashura Senku, it provides immune to damage for 10 seconds and Veil. Well, you know what really can you do besides block?
Or get lucky with a random destroy.
Yeah.
Yes, up to top 4 has been decided but not revealed yet. It's major tease, but we'll get through it. Less than 2 hours, then we'll know everything. We will know the truth.
I do want to mention that
I do wanna-
Ouroboros
Yeah, go ahead.
is another good hero art for reanimate, because you just get a lot of value back. So then control decks have a lot of problems dealing with the early game.
You know how many people brought Ouroboros overall?
I do not. I
3.
know,
Only 3.
yeah, but it is a good hero art.
Went with Ashura more. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
what
In terms of
what does Ashura do that Uro can't do? I mean, in terms of like matchup, what is it better at?
I was just saying, like the whole immune to damage thing, right? It's
Mhm.
really big,
Yeah, it takes away interaction. You
Especially-
can't really interact with the hero
especially
art.
when red is popular.
Yep. Sure hate it. I we didn't see that much of Ashura in the latter meta, but when it came out with this list, it seems like Japan was just like pulling a fast one, because I think every single Ashura that was brought here was from Japan, right?
Yeah, this
I
was one of my
believe so.
biggest oversights. Was I did not expect to see Ashura Senku, but once I saw it, I kind of like
Yeah.
started to come up with my own theories on what they could be bringing to the table.
I think a few NA players were hoping they wouldn't run into Ashura or Temptation. And what did Japan bring? Ashura and Temptation. So, gonna be interesting.
How
See
many
that turns out.
temptations?
There are the same amount of Ashuras as there are GDIs. There are 9 GDIs and 9 Ashuras.
Really good
That's
hero
right.
arts.
Ugh, that's
It's
crazy.
almost
Out of-
like that hero art is problematic.
It's certainly not been a problem this whole year. If we look back on, or actually we do have a section where we will look back on the metas of card sets past, and I think Ashura's been there the whole time, at least in some form or fashion. Ashura
Yeah.
being a problem?
As
No,
long
dude.
as,
What are you talking about? It's
as
so
long as that art
fair.
exists the way it does, I feel like, yeah, people will try to find a way to break it.
I'm telling you, it's really just, we got the sharp toys that we have to keep taking away from Ashura, and then just like, no, okay, well we'll nerf these purple cards because with black buffs they're too strong, and then it's just like, okay, all right, you better be on your best behavior now, because like, before it was like Starvation
Speaking
Impulse.
of,
Starvation Impulse is being abused.
oh yeah, that was the classic with Palamo. It was way too strong with the chance to play it.
It was just
I was
ridiculous.
gonna say, speaking of sharp toys, there is another deck that has 9 players bringing it, a hero art, and I don't know if anyone expected this, but it's also in black. It's Spike Launch. Nurg is pretty popular in Japan. So, what do you guys think about that?
Were there any NA players that brought Spike Launch, or at least not NA players,
No.
but I know Memiot brought it. Did Memiot bring?
I don't think he did. I think it brought Dive.
No. Yeah, he brought. Many
no
brought
Nurg.
Fade and then Medium.
Where's
Demon.
Memiot in chat, dude? What's the
He might not
deal?
be here.
Yeah, I'm
the moment.
surprised by the no Nergigante, but Memiot's not the only player. If we scroll all the way up, even Karan, was posting a lot of Jill, and there's no Jill.
That's the mix. He's
Yeah,
like, they expect me to bring it.
Yeah, that tends to be what happens. Like, there's two ways you can bring a tournament lineup, right? Like, you can bring a bunch of decks that you know are good on the ladder, or you can bring a bunch of decks that you know counter those good ladder decks. And you see a good mix of those across the board when you think about it that way.
Yeah, that stuff is just, it's too big brain for me. We talked about it before, the difference between tourney decks and ladder decks, but like, it really just feels like, why wouldn't you want to be ready for everything? And when you think about all the cards that are available in this game right now without restriction, I mean, we're restricting sets later on, but right now you can use every single card in the game. There's so many different effects that you can have that it seemed like it would be beneficial to be able to handle anything. But those tourney decks are really just kind of accurately pointed at what you think you're going to find.
And yeah, I think the meta is actually pretty good, like balance and variety wise right now, where you actually can see all these decks do work at some point. Like, there isn't a single deck right now that wins every matchup for free. It's not like the old Chun-Li Yawn meta, right? Like, if we had a tournament with, you know, Yawn being the way it was back then, pretty much every player would bring Yawn, right?
You would have 32 yawns.
Yeah, so the
32
fact that
yawns.
you see variety here, and like, you know, there might be some samey lists here and there. We still got a ton of variety, right? Like, if you look at the total count, there's a lot of hero arts, and only one hero is not represented.
Surprising.
In chat, tell us who it is, who's not represented, who are we not seeing?
The answer may surprise you.
Anyone playing Big Res? I don't know about Big Res, but you got Temptation.
Most likely. You see Temptation and even like Rakoha. You can assume those are big resonate, but you know, they might be doing something different. We don't know. We only know the hero arts. They haven't given the full list out yet.
Mm-hmm.
We actually
Likely
have
will.
one Ryu. We have
Nice.
one Ryu. But we don't have any Dante. No Dante's
don't.
allowed.
One
I
or
should
the
have made
other.
like a fake sign. No Dante's allowed.
Yeah, with the
The
last
one thing I
balance
think
update.
is. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, with the last balance update, I think that really did Dante in. So that's why we don't really see any Dantes here. Is because one of the strongest decks to play with it was purple black aggro, and now even trying to find a deck with Devil Trigger is very difficult because you can't play red purple burn, and you can't play black purple aggro. Very strong
We
hero
got
arc.
nerfed with Valstrax, right?
Yes.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. We were.
That one change made a difference.
See, that's how you got to look at this. At the way the meta has evolved, is what villains have we taken down? What cards did we execute? And there have been some pretty good ones that like used to be horrible, and then we wiped them out. Black Crowns, probably the most wiped out. Talk about a card that was eliminated.
One crazy thing I wanted to point out about the hero arts is there's only one hero that has all their hero arts represented, and it's. Do you guys know who it is?
Oh, I know who it is.
Wait, I can do
Think
this.
on that one.
There's no Shadow Blade. Can't be Morgan. X.
Oh, I know who it is.
I'm the last to know.
I know
Hold
who
on.
it is too.
There it is. Chat's got it. It's zero.
yeah,
Zero
we
is
did-
the
we did it right.
one.
Oh yeah.
Thanks to Last Guardian, of all people. In Tenkoha.
Oh, that's
It's the
right.
Last
We got
Guardian
one.
of Zero.
I respect the Tenkuha pick a lot, so I'm really enjoying seeing this lineup where we have the antibody, which is, you know, I feel like it's kind of a callback from like 2019, because 2019, when the TEPPEN World Championship 2019 thing was happening, Joe was also, you know, proven to be really good, a favorite amongst those players, and then Temptation. I'm also very surprised to see. because it's a strong tournament deck, but you never really see it on the ladder. So that's why I feel like it's really exciting if we can just see some purple in top 4, because we don't get to see it in ladder.
Listen,
Yeah, we definitely didn't see purple last year, right?
nope. Definitely didn't
Yeah.
write purple all over the survey they gave out.
I'm gonna laugh really hard if we get Temptation versus Temptation in the
In grand
World
finals
Finals.
again?
Yeah. Grand finals again, yup. All over again.
That'd be great.
Would it though?
Last Guardian bring Jill last year as well?
I
Anyone
don't
know?
I don't know about that.
I don't think
I
he
know,
did.
Ryuzu and Tarako Man did, right? So that's 2 of the top 3
Correct.
Jill? Last year, but I don't know if Last Guardian did. But it's funny. that he
Last
would bring
Guardian
her
did.
this year.
I believe it was
The 2
Double Trigger,
resonates.
Temptation, and then Ouroboros. Because I remember APAC was doing the Ouroboros.
I knew it was something black, I think,
Oh.
but I couldn't
Yeah.
remember what.
Pretty sure it's Ouroboros.
I knew he had the
Because
double
APAC
resonate.
was doing that.
We
Pretty
had
smart.
we had the suspicion before that this Tenkuha deck is possibly like a Resurrection V deck. How real is that?
It's real enough to happen.
What are the
could happen.
chances?
Never
What's
know,
the
man.
percent on that?
You never know when you never know until he plays that false throne out as his first card. Then you know.
Yeah, the second you see that fall throw, it's all downhill from there.
Oh,
I'm having flashbacks already. Please.
yeah.
I
by the way,
played
last-
against him once on the ladder, and that's what happened. Is he was playing Tenkuha, and it was Resurrection V. So, with my sample size of 1, I can say that it's 100% gonna be that. But that's
There's
just
going to be-
wild.
There's going to be
This
a
last
couple
Guardian was
cards.
like, I beat Mallet with it. Take it down.
No, I beat him. I beat him. I
There's
got
gonna be
it.
a
I
couple
have it as a
cards.
clip on my channel.
There'll be a couple cards that when the person plays them, make sure to pay attention to the opponent's face on the other side. Because there were a few situations
yeah.
last year where, like, if someone was playing Surge, like as their first card, or Monstrous Virus, if you look at the other side, they are praying to Jesus. The Teppen gods, they're praying. Like, please, like, let them brick. Like, please let something terrible happen to their hand. Because this is not looking good for me.
By the way, I
Yeah,
can't
so-
confirm that
so
he
there's
did
gonna
not
be a few
bring
like
Jill
that.
last year.
Okay, yeah, that's what.
Ooh.
He brought Temptation,
You see,
Devil
like-
Trigger, and Ouroboros.
Yes, I was right.
Yo, we got the fact checking.
Like, curious to see, like, the Orochi reactions and stuff like that, right? Like, see how calm and cool the opponent is, or if they just go like, oh, uh-oh.
I mean,
In
I know if I go
danger.
up against any Ashura and see False Throne, I'm definitely making one of those faces, so...
Oh. Very, just another element to the game when spectating, right?
Yeah, the
Let's see.
V10 Kuha happened on a recent stream of mine, and I thought it was gonna be, growth purple. I was like, alright, this will be a chill game. False Throne was the first card, and I immediately freaked out. My advice for any player that runs into that matchup, and this is gonna sound very weird, but do not play any units. And even actions if you can avoid it, because sometimes they may play negates. But the thing about that deck is it relies on playing cards that target units, so oftentimes they'll run into bricks, they'll stop being able to play the game, and then you can just play a unit at like the last 30 seconds to chip them down, and then they obviously can't kill you in 30 seconds, so you just win on time. That's the strategy to beat that deck.
Yeah. Especially against a lot of black decks in general. That are hoping you play something that they can destroy.
Oh yeah, love my unitless dungeon.
So
They have nothing to
there's
destroy, they get stuff.
Void saying that there won't be a face cam, which we don't know about that, but we will have the super spectator mode.
Oh,
So you will be able to see them move their cards around. And I hope to see some shenanigans with that, just kind of moving it around. And you're like, sometimes when you play games and you can't do anything, you'll just like wiggle the card around. want to see stuff like that.
I mean, it's always my favorite when you can't hear them too, but like you'll see a card drop down and you can tell they're just pink like smacking it like over and over. You see the little click effect over the card. They get like really angry, like, oh, this card.
You can see them tapping around sometimes, just dragging around.
That's what I want to see.
But they had like the little clicking sound effects when they drag over to the slots too.
Oh yeah, they added that pretty recently too. So, ooh, are we ready to move on to our look back into 2020 for Teppen, for nothing else other than Teppen, but for just Teppen?
Now, the one thing I did want to bring up out of the overall hero art choices, and specifically colors, right? Because we didn't really break it down by color yet, but I did want to break down like the top 4 in terms of popularity was black, red, purple, and then green was the least popular pick. And I was going to ask Thirsty, why green would be the least popular pick, even though a lot of higher tier players like Earth actually did pick a couple green decks.
Right. Yeah, I can speak to that. For one thing, it's just the majority of the green hero arts just don't vibe very well in this meta. There's just way too much control. It's way too easy to get no value out of your hero arts. The most popular, I mean, if we're looking at Earth, his hero art choices are a little different. I mean, Yon's always good. Yon's very strong, even though there's been some nerfs to the units. But if you can get that early momentum, Yon will always be good. And Earth is definitely a player that really likes to get that early momentum and just hold it and just kind of never let their opponent breathe. So and that's one of his favorite play styles there. And Nico, I think, is shout outs to Iowa and Kyle P's tier list, but I definitely agree with them with Nico that it's probably the second strongest. It's very RNG dependent, but it fits in where our meta is right now, where you don't want to commit to units, you don't want to commit to a board, and you just kind of want to build your win con in the action phase, away from putting down too many units. As for the rest of the hero arts, we got a couple of Devil Breakers and some Shield Spires. Those typically fall a little more under aggro, and you mentioned it earlier, Japan, it plays a bit less aggro, definitely a lot more kind of control heavy, so we're just going to see less of that because it's just way more Japan players, and really those hero arts are just supporting that aggro style with like Devil Breaker and Shield Spire. Everything else, I mean, the two craziest things there are the 2 heart tanks, and I none of us knows what that is, and I want to know what that is. I want to know why it's there. It's so weird.
I think it's the counter red.
It's the counter red. I think there are better options to counter red than heart tank. I do think they typically don't care about 7 HP appearing on the board.
Yeah.
Well,
but they might know something I don't.
You just take green, purple, Shield Spire, because the only thing that can upset you at that point is Goddess, and then you just negate Goddess. That's it. Easy. Dude, no, it's not that easy, but oof.
Well, we have Hayakeo on the stream. I'm not even sure if like that lineup requires the heart tank, because I feel like Ashura Senku and antibody activation are already decent against red, so I'm not too sure if heart tank is there for like an anti-red deck. I could see the argument for it, but a part of me really hopes that it is just some like very secret tech that Hayakeo and Rana was thinking like, yeah, these other qualifiers won't see this coming. So
that's a really good point. Those other 2 options are already very anti-red.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny to think of Jill as
excited.
red that's anti-red.
If any of them are Gill or B, and we find out tonight, like I said, I'll put 5 gift subs.
There's that, and then there's like the Hey Nico list where it's just like, what is it? And we've had to wait how long? We've done these lists for like a month.
No, the
funny
HR
Not the
choice.
lists, but
HA
the
choices, okay.
hero arts.
Yeah. Once these lists are out, you're going to see a lot of them on the ladder, especially the green ones, I think.
That's why part of me, I was like, I kind of want to do my grind now because
Yeah.
once tonight is over, there's gonna be people that are like, okay, this is my deck now.
Yeah. I mean, on that decking, they might steal some wins, but I mean, these guys are here with these decks for a certain reason, right? Like, these are the best of the best.
Dude,
So,
someone in the chat shout out Heart Tank and Shara. Oh my god, if I see Shara in this tournament, I'm gonna be mad.
They might
probably gonna
be
at least one Shara, maybe in Shield Spire.
Oh,
I'm with you on that. I would not like to see Shara Ishvalda at all. That card is toxic.
Even though they nerfed the
It got nerfed.
HP, dude, it's not gonna stomp it. Forget about it.
Still scary.
How much Dark Destruction
That's-
was it? 2?
5.
5?
5
Okay,
Dark
that's a lot more.
Destructions.
Yeah, there,
One for
there was
each
more spike
MP
launch.
cost of room.
Yeah. It's more spike launch than DD. Wesker was actually the least popular hero out of Black. The most popular hero out of all the heroes was Akuma.
Nurg is the
A lot of
second most
Ashura and a lot of
out of everyone.
A
Who's
lot
Nerf
of
second?
DD just from the
Yeah.
the regional
There are 12
qualifiers. 1, 2, 3, 4.
19 Akuma.
That's a lot. Anything else? Any other beats to hit?
Just for those that are curious, just to list off, since I have this nice spreadsheet. That's why I keep throwing out numbers. There are a total of 39 black hero arts being used, 24 red, 19 purple, and 14 green. There are 4 Neros. Nero is the second most used green hero behind Feline.
Breaker.
Should have pulled up the. I
Mostly
should have gotten the
North America.
spreadsheet.
Well, actually, 3 Double Breaker, 1 Himiko. Right.
They're all drinking that schmo Kool-Aid.
But all the Double Breakers are North America, right? It fits the aggro style.
It's I think the hypest thing about this is that everyone has their eyes on Earth, and this man comes to the tournament with 2 weird picks. That's scary.
Yeah.
We've been saying like all year that green's like the weakest. It's like this man shows up to Worlds with 2 green decks and one being kind of an RNG based hero art that people say, it's so
And you look at
weird.
look at his player profile and you see the decks that he's used the most on the ladder, and all of a sudden his picks aren't that surprising.
Yawn. 21%. Man wakes up in the morning and decides to play Yawn 21% of the time. But he wins 82% of the time. Yikes, dude. Everyone look at how many games you've played. If you go to the player menu, you can see how many ranked matches you've played. Post how many matches you've played. Just out of curiosity.
How do you even 10,000? Come on, man.
Not even 10K. Come on. I know I've seen some people hit over 10K. I definitely don't have that.
I know Ryuzu plays a lot. Maybe we should check his profile.
You check his page.
Get him in here right now.
But seeing that high of a number and then the high win rate next to it is really impressive. Like, to me, if you can get over like 70% of the win rate, or maybe even 75, I don't know. I feel like you're doing really well in ranked if you can hit those numbers. Earth is over 80, which is nuts.
77-18. That's a lot.
Those are my wins. Sorry.
Those
Not
are your
my
wins.
overall.
Holy crap. Get in the car.
Yeah, so I mean, just triple it because I play X. X is still my most played hero. Horrible.
Wait, can you see total matches played then? Should this number be total wins?
Well, they have access to way more data than we do.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Sometimes you
So
don't
the
have
only
to
way
play
you're gonna
that
do
much.
that is
Sometimes
you're
you
gonna add them all up.
I see. Well, I got 3,200 wins. Suck it. Yeah, I need to play more. I like to do my grind sessions on stream. That could be it. When I'm off stream, I don't really play too much. It might be one game here and there.
It's weird. My X matches didn't go up, even though I was playing X all day on stream today. Akuma went up though.
Why not? Dude, you know you were playing. Oh wait, you were. That Gaia armor that goes off twice. Whoa!
It's just so good now. All right.
I have over 10k, dude. Spooky. Spooky.
That's my total rank matches right there.
11k. Oh my god.
There you
That's
go.
wild.
Those are real numbers.
Oh,
This
but
is
now
the
people
big
knows
boy
my win
numbers.
rates. You could just use the one that I thought was the real number.
Oh,
Horrible. Stupid X.
I'm sure players like Kyle grinded a lot as well. He plays a ton of ranked, and Dango as well. But you know, we don't have to keep jumping into everyone's profile and investigating them and judging them.
Investigate everything.
Yeah,
It's just a cool number to look at. How many games people have played? You play Wesker's theme? Do song request? You can do that. But anything else any other beat to hit with the hero arts before we go into our retrospective?
I think we're good.
Yep.
We wanted to kind of my Dongo stats. Last thing, we'll look at Dongo stats.
I just looked; it's disgusting. I would recommend not looking unless you have a strong.
Oh,
I would
let's
like
look.
To look.
He wants it, dude. He wants us to. He wants us to look
I took
at it.
I took a peek.
He's like, I don't even play this. Oh wait, dude, that's a lot of matches actually, considering that he was kind of out of the game in May and June, dude. He's like,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
and this man
That's
is
a lot.
like,
All right. Now
a
looking
lot.
at the points, can we figure out when he discovered PB?
oh. He's like, oh crap, dude. I found something big.
Ouroboros 10%. I thought he didn't like Wesker.
Pretty
Not
gross.
enough.
It was just like 8-2 and 8-5 this summer, and they were just like,
65.
maybe I'll start playing this game.
Oh.
I bet you those Ouroboros are dual color.
That's testing. 65% win
weird.
rate, that's testing. The man is not afraid to test stuff on the ladder.
For 8,000 matches, though. No, very short span.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, speaking of looking at all these months and thinking of when certain decks came in, let us hop over to the next subject, which is all about a meta retrospective. And this is going to be something a bit more interactive. You guys can kind of participate. But we're going to kind of go through all the metas, starting from, what, in January we had the Force Seekers. We can
Yep,
actually
have the Force
go in and get...
There was a certain deck that was dominating during that time.
Certain deck,
Whoa.
I don't know what it could be though. So let's see. What should I bring up during this? Well, actually, does one of you has a deck already made for that? Would you like to? Should we share it before?
Share it before.
Before the
how
match
do
or
we do
after
it?
the match? Is that a better
Who made
time
the
to do it?
deck? That's the question.
I have it. I have it
Have it
ready.
Thursday? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to see it in action first, or do we want to?
How are we gonna do this?
I know we have spectate mode.
Yeah, we got that
so I guess
spectator
I
mode,
will,
and
I will
room
throw up a
match?
room. We will just play.
First
I think
serve?
we can talk about it.
Yep.
All right, so I will do the match. Do take myself off a stranger, so you guys don't be like, who is that person?
Get your games ready, guys out there, because you might get a chance to play with us.
hell
in
yes.
Some room matches.
We're gonna have you guys go back in time and fight these decks from Teppen's past.
As they
room
were
code?
then, with all the nerfs. The room code is RP9476. Feel free to hop in and spectate, especially Mallet, so he can project the match.
Oh, I hit join
Can we-
room. I shouldn't do that.
Can we use decks from season 1 and 2?
But that was
And
last
we're doing
year.
this year.
This
We're
year?
doing the
Okay.
year in Teppen.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I heard that right.
Let me bring this up.
Oh, we got Bat in here. I'm gonna lose to a D2 player.
Look how smooth that was. That's the see.
Batman.
I was prepared. Okay, I was prepared for this. I was prepared for the brackets. I was not prepared for audio issues.
Oh, there's a mouse cursor over my profile picture. I was like, what was that? I'm like trying to grab
Oh.
it.
Okay, there's that.
All right. We ready? We're going to do this. Let's go. As soon as Bat's ready.
If you guys haven't figured it out yet, the beginning of this year, leading into basically March, was mostly dominated by this, lovely lady we know as Chun-Li, and using the hero art Yawn, which has pretty much been considered always her best hero art. Being able to pick an ally of your choice, she yawns, and then the ally that you select will return 4 MP back to your total mana whenever they leave the board. So they can get bounced, they can get killed. There's a couple different ways that they can leave the board. You can also kill them yourselves by ascending on top of them. Whenever they leave the board, you get that 4 MP back. And what happened in this month with the Force Seekers was they introduced a new mechanic called Ascension. So one of the biggest problems with Green in the past was they would fill out their board, and then they were stuck. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't play any more cards. And if they had a full hand of units, they were just locked. And then Purple could take advantage, particularly by just flying over them. And they couldn't do anything about it. But with the introduction of Ascension, you have these units that you can see here, like Hutsu on the left side and Rainy Turtleoid, the 4-cost, that are able to be played on top of other units. And then when you combine that with the strength of Yawn being able to return some of that mana back, you get a really fast-paced deck, and it was very dominant for a short time. But Iowa?
Oh, perfect split. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. Right when I'm about to yawn. I'm in trouble. I'm dead.
Chris, did you say my name?
Yeah. I'm saying,
Oh.
don't you agree? Like, Yawn was very strong for a time.
Not
Yawn
getting
was very
that.
dominant, and it really... What is it? It supported players that had really good reaction and really good speed, which is why I wasn't really good at that deck. So yeah, I do remember it because it was a season where I just was not very good. So I clearly remember it.
It was definitely difficult. There was a lot of Yawn mirrors, since it was like the strongest deck out there. And as we see here, Thirsty just lost the Batman.
Good old Batman.
Nope.
I was too slow on the yawn, and that perfect split just put me too far behind.
If I can change
Yeah.
the audio
Well-
output with this.
more or less what the mirrors came down to were who would be able to deny the other person's yawn. Because green does have access to seals, right, with disarm or even the CCs. And if you're able to catch the opponent's yawn with a seal before they were able to lose their unit and get that mana back, you were at an advantage. So it's kind of a shame that a lot of the mirrors came down to that. But that's just kind of how it was. Also, natural cycle coming into play, right? Being able to bring your entire deck back from the graveyard back into your deck and buff your cards. It's also very good.
It's very weird to see the exact cards and.
Yeah. And Mal, what's your experience with Yawn back then?
I played against it a lot. It wasn't until holy crap. Woo. I played against it a lot as a Jill main, but it wasn't until it was Haunted by Memories that really I started to become frustrated playing against Zero, and I started to play more Yawn. And it's something that I really like. It's still board control. You pretty much make sure all the slots are full, all the slots are kind of fortified. So it's a lot like Jill, honestly. But I did not play it when it was at its strongest, unfortunately.
Sir. I played a lot of Yawn myself. But one of the seasons was really bad for me. Like, I tried to get a last top push for top 100, and I kept running into mirrors, and yeah, it was really bad at one point. But yeah, eventually I just kind of switched it up, and what I used to do, pretty much right before Yawn was nerfed, whenever I did a stream, I would have a Yawn kill counter in the corner. Whenever I would beat a Chun, I would increase that number. By the end of the season, I was over like 40.
This is yeah, this deck is not good anymore. This is awful.
It was in the pudding.
So what got nerfed
deck
from this deck?
you left on, right? Oh, in
White
this deck?
Sword.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this deck not viable anymore?
The hero art. Also
The-
got nerfed.
It used to be 16?
15.
15? Oh, that's right. That's disgusting.
Sure is.
It sure is, dude.
Not just-
All those revenge tyrants just murdering me.
Yeah, that's just, it was ridiculous. I remember I kind of was, I did have some frustration toward it, but it's just, yeah, it's like it gives you 4 MP for free, so it's basically 4 AP for free. So being able to use it at 15, okay, so that means you spend 11 of your actual mana for every 15. That's a lot of free.
Yeah, the return was really good. And I'm surprised they didn't nerf the effect at all. They only changed the AP. So it can work pretty well in certain situations, but as you can see here, a lot of the older cards that Thirsty's using just don't have that edge anymore, which is why more modern Yawn decks will use newer cards.
Well,
That
still
Turtleoid
got
got
it.
nerfed.
Turtleoid didn't deserve the nerf.
He got
Yeah,
hit pretty hard.
I don't agree with that, with the Turtleoid nerf. Really sucks.
At least Thirsty seems to be able to maintain a little bit of a board here. He might be very close to having a cycle since he is running low on cards. left in his deck.
Oh, look how fast that was.
Yeah, showing off how good Call to Battle can be by drawing a very strong Iris.
That's a
Since Call to Battle will buff 1/1 based on every Ascension. Call to Battle was easily one of the most broken cards in the Yawn meta, since there was so much Ascension going on. You get some insane numbers, especially after Cycle.
oh
Over
no.
10.
Oh man, did you have to play a G adult? It's not necessary.
Oh, that's his
Future.
Yeah, that's Batman's signature move. That's how he got me the other day. The adult.
Uh,
This is pretty close.
Yeah, Hootzel without the Ascension will just sit there by himself, unfortunately, but at least he's a decent blocker.
It's actually very fortunate for me right now against a big Wesker like that could dive bomb for
Right.
just instant counter damage.
Turtle's nerf is canon, dude. People complain about his defenses in Mega Man X Lore.
That's true.
I mean, I saw him in his native game. He's huge. He's huge.
Yeah, like Void is saying, like Red was around back in the Yawn meta, but they weren't as prevalent as they are today. Like, they were definitely scared of running into Yawn. It was like a terrible matchup. Not a good time to be a Red player back then.
I definitely remember that. Being frustrated, mostly at Call to Battle, where it just puts out this incredibly large unit. It's like, yeah, all right. Oh no. Oh wait. You have time to protect player.
But you're seeing
Oh, wait, no.
Green's problem that they always have and are definitely having in this meta, which is getting a hit through.
Stopping dive bomb.
Oh no!
It's fine. Eh. What's time looking like?
No, Yun's still good.
I mean, they're on their minutes, so.
Sure. That's fine.
The problem, especially today with Cycle, is the fact that he did also bring back all of Batman's cards,
Oh my goodness.
including the Revenge
Lord.
cards. Yeah, that really large Turtleoid with Call to Battle is what I was talking about, where you can get some insane numbers after Cycle.
Was it
right,
11, 14?
Well played. It's
Do
1-1
it.
right now?
It's 1-1. Do we want to keep going? Do we want to move to other decks?
One more. Finish it out.
All right.
Might as well.
Yo, that was crazy. I left to like go blow my nose, and then I came back and you just had a full board.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, that was. I did not think that was bringing that back.
Me either. I thought you were gonna lose.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like an omen.
Yawn is still good.
You
Yawn is
just
still
need
good.
that momentum.
Uh-oh. The Batman's not playing around.
That's how you lose a momentum.
I wanted to have
I like
the
how
audio.
Batman's like, you're playing a green deck, huh? Let me show you all the colors of black.
He's like, oh, you like to play units, huh? See about that.
I wanted to have the audio from the phone into the computer, but it's putting it in my headset. The headset that the OBS is like, nah, you don't have that. That's not a real thing. So, you got Wesker's theme.
Wow.
It's appropriate.
That's still running the murder spikes.
That wasn't around during. No, just kidding. No, it wasn't. TFS introduced such fun cards like Alexia. You know, real fun.
Oh,
Alexia is
True.
one of the most fair and skill-intensive cards in Teppen that I've ever seen.
I agree.
A lot of balance.
Glad you see things my way.
Yeah, of course. We are very like-minded.
There's another card that was introduced in the Four Seekers.
Oh my god.
Black likes to use. Fate of the Unworthy. I know a lot of people like that card. I wish we'd see more play, but it's solid.
Yeah, just
Kind of a
snitch
sleeper
cards.
card.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, the 4/1 Tyrant being able to kill pretty much any mana ramp at one attack is really good.
So you put the
Uh,
Rico out.
really
He's
good
ready to
trait
Raging
going on.
Demon.
Pesky Geodol.
So he's shielding a 6 cost because he knows he got DD on deck.
Yep, gotta be careful.
Yeah, so Hulitzel is actually one of the biggest problem cards, even today for Black, because it hits that magic number 6. And for people that don't know, Black is usually afraid of the number 6 because it dodges almost all of their destroys.
He's ready to Raging Demon, dude. He didn't do it. Oh, now we're judging Thirsty's play, and he can hear us.
That's fun.
Judging.
We're like, wow.
Choices were made, but this is fine.
WTD is Raging Demon. What the dong?
Ooh. That was a very fast swipe.
I'm dead.
Yeah, that was good.
You're fine though. Oh no,
I'm
it's
not
not
fine.
fair. Oh,
This is
what,
over.
what the heckies was that? Ooh. But wait.
Oh
Doesn't.
no. Okay, I see what's going on now.
I see what happened.
If you've watched me before, you definitely know I love when people play a revenge card and then play 2 cards and get it back. It's one of my absolute favorite things.
Yeah, getting that revenge timer back.
it's the skill.
Was pretty good.
It's the skill about it. That's just really good.
And there's none of Mer spikes.
Any skilled Weskers in chat? 6-12, dude. Could be interesting. Gonna be close though. Okay, that's enough of that.
I'm not a believer.
Oh no.
Not a believer.
No.
Just
Man, Batman was
summon a 2
a
MP
top
unit.
10.
Okay, that's enough of that
Batman
too.
was a top 10 North American qualifier last year. Just so, in case people don't know.
That would be a 5-9.
I think
Weasel
I'm
dude.
surprised that this filling your deck with destroys. It's crazy.
Do you
How
think
good
it'll
that
catch
can be.
on?
All right.
He's out of here already, dude. Okay. He needs a nerf. So what did we learn?
Non-meta has ended, right?
So Chris, you
with
asked
Dawn
me
getting
why I
nerfed-
don't. You asked me why I don't think many green players. There were that many green decks. You just saw
yeah,
why.
what's up? Why isn't green more popular?
Oh, we didn't show the
Yeah.
deck.
I don't know how to show.
I think I
can't,
can.
like,
Can I
show
look
them
at
in
it
the spectator.
when it's?
No, not while you're spectating.
Oh,
Can't look at
I
it in
mean,
spectator mode.
you literally saw a game where I played every single card.
So if you, I mean, yeah, I guess we did commentate on every little detail there.
I'll just post a screenshot in the chat if you want to show it off that way.
Oh, you can do that too. That's good.
And then
This-
Chris can
Even
start
in the VOD, it'll
talking
show up.
noise.
So
Yeah, like this was basically the dominant deck for the beginning of the year, for January and February. And of course, Force Seekers also introduced the Kuma, and some good Ascension cards for Black. But Raging Demon is kind of interesting. It wasn't extremely strong at the time. It would get bullied by Yawn. It had some decent plays, especially with Alexia. But thanks to like future expansions, Raging Demon would be the deck that we all know today. It needed a little bit of extra help, so it wasn't exactly top tier back then, but it was good.
Yeah, it only got better with additions to cards that just keep coming back. With very large stats that you would normally pay 6 MP for, but you know, because it's Black and they have cards with revenge, you only pay 2.
that cheap stuff, dude.
So you showing off the deck?
Did you post a screenshot? Oh, you posted it in the
Did.
podcast chat. Yeah.
I think we should be moving on because we're almost down to the last hour here.
That's true. So let's
Time is flying.
let's move on. We have the next meta, which was Haunted by Memories. Haunted by.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I I think I said Haunted by Nightmares one time, and I've every time I say HBM, Haunted
Everyone
by
calls it
Memories,
that,
I'm like, okay.
Nightmares of memory. So this meta was around for a good while, thanks to the introduction of memories and actions and a new hero that we all know by the name of Zero. Ended up dominating for a good while. Iowa, did you put together a deck for this, or should I play it?
I definitely did. I got 2 purple decks.
Awesome. All right, let's see your Zero deck.
Oh, you know me so well.
Ew, Zero.
I knew you were gonna do it.
What's gonna be interesting is that one of the key cards for Rakoha was V, and now V has been nerfed a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes.
All right. So for my challenger, and actually, let me make sure I have the deck. I remember
Okay.
the.
We can just share the room code in the chat.
Okay, I have to get the deck real quick. Before I get the
Okay.
room code.
Haunted by COVID. Did it come out in March? I guess it kind of
did
had
come out
to,
in March.
right?
Yep.
Um,
Which is why we ended up stuck
It's been a
with
weird year.
HBM for so long, was due to COVID.
Oh
It was
yeah.
very difficult to keep development on the game going. On Gung Ho side.
Yeah,
So
we
we
started
were-
playing matches and our viewers got up like 15.
We were in this meta
Games.
for a little while. Let's say that.
2 metas worth.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah. While.
Oh, it came out on Dongo's birthday. He was like,
So
"Yay! I can't wait to play
Oh.
this new hero forever."
The room code for any spectators or somebody that wishes to challenge me is WR9588. Again, WR9588.
Yeah, I can't.
That was quick.
They're ready.
Oh. That was
CR1.
Yeah. Cry is what I like to call him.
Can
We're
I
ready to
say it?
roll?
Cry.
I think he doesn't like to be called Cry. But I like to call him Cry.
He doesn't like to be called. That's why I called him. Get him, dude. Get him. It is not cry. Oh, he's in the chat. There he is.
Yeah,
I seen him on. He joined a tournament.
sure did. Ready to
Uh,
roll?
He's playing the classic New Deck 5.
Oh, I should have
Well,
made
these
mine.
spectator numbers are going up.
New Deck 88. Whoa! This guy makes a lot of decks.
Oh my god. So everyone's just bringing hard counters.
Ooh, Genshin. Is
This was a bad
Is
matchup
this
when
the same
Zero
Genshin
was
list
tier
that
0.
this? Yeah. So this was the
Beat
one
up
matchup
Strimmered.
that Zero did not want to run into back then. Yeah, we're doing viewer matches, Wesker Virus. First come, first serve.
Oh,
Going
but
through
this
each
is-
and every
Best of
meta
3.
that we've seen this year in Teppen.
This is a different type
Kinda
of
for the win.
engine.
Oh, there we go, baby. Now, a hand like this that Iowa has would pretty much instantly win back in the Haunted by Memories.
Oh, and
This is
it's red black dungeon.
I think this is a
This
was
is
an
great,
instant win
dude.
hand, I think. But
Oh yeah, I forget you guys can see my hand.
Yep.
Yo,
Yeah,
spectator
yeah,
mode is
we
so
can.
nice. Spectator mode is so nice.
Again, I apologize for not having in-game audio, but rest assured, I can hear it. I just can't put it on the stream. It's fine, dude.
oh man. played in action against V. Oh, baby.
All right,
Let's
we in
go.
there.
Let's go. You better believe it.
This is crap I don't want to see in the final round for 500, Alex.
Oh my god, except when you copied the pasta.
Oh, that might get rid of the Griffin.
This might be the best game I've ever played, dude. Next time I got the copy pasta.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Interesting. Yeah, using the livering slash on the bird.
I still can't believe this
Iowa.
exists. We got a resonate
Iowa
unit that
thinks it's
creates
worth
resonate units. Get them.
Nice. Good use of buffet.
Very good use of buffet.
Really, there's only I
What
was gonna
the-
say, there's only 3 ways that can protect.
Oh,
There it
this
is.
is terrible news.
Unfortunately. Ooh,
Ooh,
Iowa actually
Merlin
just
card.
spinning. Yeah, he's gonna overdraw, but trying to find either another buffet or just playing out until we can get his Rakoha out. He's very close actually, and he almost has 7 memory.
This is the other thing is,
Ooh. Yeah.
oof.
He kind of
Ooh.
couldn't block it, right? Because if he blocked it, then that spillover would have killed that Lucia.
Yeah, right. So I kind of saw that coming. Like he was just gonna let the Nightmare hit. Yeah, this is definitely his Rakoha.
Big spender, dude. That used to cost what, 16? How much was it? 18.
It was 16 AP.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap at the time.
We got a problem with 16. That number is a little cursed.
old 0 was fun times, man.
I was like, yeah, it couldn't have been lower
Yeah,
than
we didn't,
than 18.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't think about doing predictions in here. Whoops.
Yeah, we should have. We got it for next
Should have
one.
did
I think.
predictions. I keep forgetting to do them for my stream too.
oh no, that's
People are
right. We
talking
gotta get a
about, like,
mod
bets
up
and
in
stuff
here.
like that.
I mean, you can still
Yeah.
get a prediction now if you'd like.
I think it's too close now.
We could. Oh my god. Everyone's just copying stuff on my chat. My commands.
Is somebody else doing the prediction, or should I?
And you could. I'm not. I'm too busy watching this, man. This is intense.
Go right ahead.
This match can go.
Very curious what
Either
Iowa's
or.
going to do here. He has a few plays that he can do now that he's over 10 memory.
I'll make it kind of short.
Ooh. Engine with Anita is really scary. Doing
But
a lot of damage.
for anyone unfamiliar with,
Oof.
for anyone unfamiliar with predictions, you have to say who's gonna be A or B, and you bet channel points. And the payout is, God, the payout is
Yeah, Anita just tore Dante apart.
based on proportion. So if
That
like
would need a really good split
if
here.
there's only a couple people supporting Iowa with points, you'll get a heavier payout if he wins.
See, you get it?
Oh my god!
Oh,
That was hat.
That was a split.
pretty good split. That was a pretty good
Split boys.
Just bounces the Anita, which is very smart, and she'll lose the Denjin buffs.
Wait, did the music stop?
So we're
Okay.
we're kind of reaching the point at the end of the match where, you know, remember that Iowa did overdraw 1 card. So, you know, we're not exactly sure which card he milled with the Revelations, but ooh,
It wasn't the
Food
worst
on
one.
Ohime. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it.
Yo, Void put 10K on Iowa. Holy
Yeah,
crap!
there's no limit to the points that you can bet, guys, as long as you have the points, I should say.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's
This isn't looking that bad for Iowa, though, because, yeah, having another demonic is really good here.
looking much better. 6, dude. Chain of Fists for 6. Okay.
It's Denjin, man. Wow. Another like a demon. Which will hurt himself.
He is
I
getting
already used,
pretty low in life.
I already used Liberating Slash, right? To kill the Griffin. So
The mouthwash field
it's
is
a bit
gone.
scary. There are, there's a couple things Iowa can do here now. Getting closer to another Wakoha. Wow. Anita is.
He canceled it. Oh my god.
Oh no!
That is that's unfortunate.
Oh no!
Could be. Yeah.
I guess it depends what happens here because there might be enough burn. Okay, never mind.
There it is.
Oh, that's right. Dual colors, so you can't even. If you were to put in something like a trump card, it would have a greatly reduced effect.
Yeah, he definitely shouldn't be using trump card, but something like Agents, if it was buffed enough over time by Denjin, and something else, but he couldn't use 6 costs in a deck like that, right? So you don't have to worry about Leon clearing the board, which was a really hard counter to Zero back then.
Wait, are you playing Dante? What Dante deck was strong during HBM?
Ooh.
I know
We'll
which
see.
one was stronger in it.
Was it really? Was that really when we started seeing that?
I think it was. Right?
Yep, it
'Cause
was.
There's,
It's
There
towards the
wasn't
tail
Oh
end.
nine
yeah,
yet,
I guess
right?
it was. It's prevailed so well over subsequent metas that I was kind of like, I felt it was a more recent develop. Oh god.
Yeah.
Good old
Can't believe
4-cost
Valstrax didn't get that
Valstrax now.
hidden.
Everyone loves this deck.
Strike Dragoon saying grump this deck.
go, go, go.
Go.
Go,
Oh,
go.
no.
The little Valstrax that could.
No.
Yay. Valstrax.
Uh-oh.
When did we see Valstrax? When it first came out, it was TFS because it's enough of that, dude.
It was released in the
Oh,
Force
no.
Seekers, yeah. But I don't know. Like you see it pop up every now and then, but I feel like the Yawn meta was just so strong that there was a lot of ways to anti-air it, so you didn't really see it that much.
Exactly.
It was the Whitzels. Whitzels were keeping Valstrax in check.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
like
it's a
with- yeah,
surprise,
Whistle.
like one-hit kill.
Anti-air was crazy.
It's just funny that was like the only card I could really think of that like it came out and everyone was like, "Meh, whatever," and then later on it became a problem, right?
Yep. Now it's dead.
Now it's dead.
Now it's dead. That was TFS Blackmore.
Yeah, because it was definitely a strong card that people were like, "Wow, that's really good," but then just the prevalence of Weitzel.
You can tell by how fast he flies that he's seeking force. The force seeking.
Yeah, unless
Change to Dante's theme.
a CR1 or however you say his name has some healing, might be in trouble later down the line since Iowa can stall with this Burn Dante deck. Obviously, Devil Trigger being immune to all damage for 10 seconds straight, which is pretty much one attack. Also having access to purple halts, able to more or less control the board, play safe. But yeah, CR1's playing very smart, doing Karen for agility.
Ooh, now I'm ticked
Ascension.
off.
That'll put a lot of pressure on Iowa to find answers faster and burn faster, because he's going to be taking a lot more damage faster as long as the agility unit's on the board. He's making good progress. There is one card that would essentially secure the win for Burn Dante. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think they're rolling out vaccines for that next month.
Yes.
Damn it.
Monstrous virus.
Y'all can't wait for that card to
Iowa
be
can find
gone,
it.
baby.
If Iowa can find it here, his chances will be looking a lot better.
I've played matches against this deck where it is just like
Yeah.
you put the
I mean,
cards down
at
and then
some
you're
point
just
you
like,
just-
all right, AFK smile.
You can just walk
Just
away.
put the
at some
phone
point.
down and walk away, right? Yeah. You just wait for them to play it out. That's all you can do.
This is interesting because
I know all of you guys out there are loving watching this.
everybody's gonna be building against the decks that we're expecting, right? I expected like okay 0, so Denjin was coincidental, but I didn't think about Burn Dante. Burnte. This is pretty close. If only there was one card in particular he could find. Oh no. Okay. What was that? I didn't see any text.
It was a haul. Yeah.
It was weird. I just didn't see any text.
Yeah,
It's
it was
ogre,
maybe
dude.
a glitch with the spectating.
Where's
Wow, he never found it.
Yo, he's playing on
Oh,
0. He's playing on 0. Man,
God.
anyone see that?
Never found it.
No.
Bad man.
Can
1-1.
confirm it is in the deck.
It is in the deck.
It is?
It is in the deck. I was like, wait,
Was
does
it
this
1-1?
build not have it? No, it has it.
It's crazy just because I swear you play against this deck, they seem to always find it, and it's like
It's-
even if
Best out of
you have a
3-4.
negate, they have another negate. Best of 3, go one more. For
Alright.
all the points, I will say that anyone who voted for Iowa is kind of sweating right now. If you
Wait.
voted for CR1, you stand to gain 36 times what you bet.
Was it cool for me to pick this deck, or were you doing Wolt's format?
Oh no.
Well, we're not doing world format.
It's fine.
Okay.
This is what you're gonna
It's
run
fine.
into if you were playing on the ladder during this meta. What would you find? So it's fine. We were betting. Yeah. Betting channel points. Fight money. Gotta change back to the 0 theme. Oh.
So Iowa has the Exposed Evil Eye active, and this is another card that got nerfed overall for purple. But it used to build a ton of mana ramp, and it used to be a 3-cost, right?
Yep.
They essentially increased the cost, which made it a little bit more awkward to play. But this card single-handedly carried purple back then. It was so good.
You are getting an unreactable layer for 35 seconds for 3 MP.
Yeah, like you couldn't do anything about it. Like there's no way to deny it. Like the only way to deny it was with a negate. But the problem was there were so many other things that you had to worry about negating a purple mirror that you basically had to let it happen.
Yep.
A really good Karen to seal the Jester.
You're
Who's
usually in a
got
good
Seal happy
spot
right
too
now?
if they negated your evil eye early. It's like, oh, okay, I can relax now. It's one less negate.
Yeah. So we know Hey Nico can pull one of 3 actions. We don't know until he plays it.
Oh
And it's a
boy,
pretty good one.
that's a good
And it's
one.
basically built-in light launch, built-in Rakoha. Of course, Iowa saving the gate for that.
He's
occasion.
like, wait, I gotta spend 22 AP for that.
Okay.
Oh. Hey, that
a,
card wasn't a Redskin.
That's the problem in the middle there.
That's the problem. One of my least favorite cards. Holy Christmas!
It's looking a little bit awkward here, for sure.
Even in
I
front
think
of
the character.
even in front of
the
Itsuki's
character voiced
Mocha
by
S.
Johnny Young Bosch is in trouble.
Oh no!
Right.
JJ's.
Yeah, the thing with Itsuki
Oh,
having, crush. Oh wow, that was nasty. Really good play there from CR1. Or as Iowa
That was
calls him,
very
cry. Making Iowa cry.
Yeah.
Wishing Zero wasn't ever nerfed. The room is dead.
Whoa. Okay, so big points. Holy crap!
Prediction
Yeah, dude, my points.
CR1 wins.
That was ridiculous.
Points.
If you put your points on CR1, you got 36 times what you put in, dude. That's cool.
So
we're gonna take a little intermission in this retrospective because we actually have a couple special guests ready. Okay, so we're gonna get them in right now. Hope you guys are ready. Am I doing this correctly?
I'm ready. Fully.
So, oh. That's gonna mess our thing up, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It is. It's okay though. And let me work on being friends with.
Oh, good day, sirs.
How's it going?
Yeah, I'm not the only one looking fancy
Hello.
now.
That's right. I was admiring your getup.
Well, I would have worn my Teppen shirt, but
I've got a bunch if you need one.
you know what? I might take you up on that offer.
That's fine. I got some other. Here. We'll do a little special preview for the show. I got some props here for the show.
Sick.
Oh, the people
nice.
can't even see this yet.
Yeah, I apologize. We tried to set it
Yeah,
up with
part of
OBS
it.
Can't
Ninja.
really see you yet.
They can see some.
some people in the chat
They can see
recognize
half
it.
of me.
We
What's
got-
up, everybody?
got the man.
Horrible chop.
With,
Well-known red mane. That's why he's up there in the red corner.
Yes.
This is so mixed
The
up.
horrible chopstick.
Why would you put me here?
I'm over here though.
You
Put me here and
now.
put James in black, and it'll be all good, right?
Am I even on? Oh, I can see
James
a
is in
tiny
green. Why
bit
it's
of-
better.
Yeah, ideal.
How do we do this? We have to like
Tiny
lean over.
bit
like,
of
see
me.
us, like... How's it going, everyone?
You can see my hand. Oh, my hand is gone now.
Oh man, this is gonna be a little crazy. We might have to just deal with broken cams. We have a
Turn
limited.
off our cameras. Does that do? Would that work, or does it still show a picture?
There you go.
We're pretty good if you go to certain parts of your thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Go this way.
Just make the window bigger.
There we go. All right.
Find the wrong side. It's supposed to be leaning this way. Is it mirrored?
I guess what we could
This
do
is
is another version of Discord. Hold on.
This is professional
Very professional.
Very professional. business here.
Oh, dang,
We
wait.
got going
Actually,
on.
you can see my hand on the other
Yeah.
screen over here, so I can do the double-handed action over here. So-
Do one of the hosts have a question? Does one of the hosts have a question for these two?
So how's it
This
going, guys?
is better than questions. This is why I came here.
You guys, for those of you that don't know that are watching right now, both Horrible Chop, Stick, and James Chen have been chosen to do the casting, commentating the World's Finals that are happening in about we're like almost 35 minutes away.
Yeah.
So,
pretty soon.
yeah, how are you guys feeling? You
There we go.
guys loose?
Yeah, we're
I
good.
mean-
We've been in rehearsal for like 8 hours now.
We,
yeah.
8 hours?
Yeah, on
No,
and off
maybe-
because Japan.
Maybe not that long, but 6, 7, yeah.
It was 4 Pacific, right? Yeah. So
we'll
yeah,
fix now,
yeah,
so you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
don't have to lean.
Yeah, no, we're good.
No,
Yeah,
but, I mean,
you're on the screen now.
No, James is just
Oh,
gangster
there
like
we
that.
go.
That's,
Oh, I
that's
don't
his
have to lean
natural
over
position.
anymore. Okay, okay.
He's
there.
on the gangster
James is like, I can get comfortable now. All right.
Yeah, no, he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna see the whole show like that. It's gonna be great.
No, I mean, we're excited here. Obviously, we can't say anything about what's going on in this, tournament, but
Can't?
That was my
No.
first
But
question.
Can we say anything? The answer is
Rebecca's
no.
half
All
my
right, next question.
yeah, exactly. You're gonna ask us whatever questions you want. James, what's your favorite color? No, not allowed to answer.
Yeah, everything is
I don't
indeed.
have to say anything.
Oh, man.
Where's my suit? Well, it's really cold outside, so the heat's on here, so it'd be a lot with the whole suit. But this isn't everything. Don't worry. There is more to come.
It's difficult
Oh,
to think of
really?
questions that aren't just like, what are you excited for it coming up when you guys know what's coming up?
Well,
Hmm.
yeah, like there is definitely cool stuff coming up. As far like it's gonna be good. I like a lot of what they've done as far as how they have the show packaged and ready to go, and kind of the pace of everything is gonna be cool. There's gonna be some fun surprises.
I mean,
if you-
needless to say,
Surprise.
obviously, we're gonna get like some storylines of how we got to the top four. There's some really cool stuff that's happened there, so you guys have that to look forward to for sure. It's gonna be good stuff.
Well, how about this? What are your histories with Teppen? And we can start with Chop, since he's been around for quite a while.
Yeah, I started playing Teppen the second day after it released, and started streaming it the day after that, and I've been here ever since. I did. After about a month, I think they asked me to do the ambassador program, and then shortly after that, I asked about doing Worlds. We're doing commentary once Worlds was announced, and I was like, "Hey, do you guys need people to do events and commentary and stuff?" And Max, who was still with Gung Ho at the time, asked if I would put together a demo reel. So I literally cut my own footage from random games I found in my own games and put a demo reel together and sent it in. And then I've been talking about Teppen ever since.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a filthy rat player. Oh, yeah, I've played all the dirty decks. I
No,
need
I
to
mean,
crunch.
for me-
You've been through the ringer.
Yeah, I'm better at talking than
Yeah,
I am at
I
playing,
mean-
so I need all the help I can get with the game.
Your last deck, I think, that you attempted to climb with was Big Res, right? Temptation.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah. So you're familiar with, how the meta was and will continue to be, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Before James,
yeah.
though, to answer a question as far as like kind of what it, I think people are going to be surprised with, like, as far as not like outer stuff, but like the tournament itself, as far as like, what you're going to see.
Nah, everything is going as according to what people expect, I think.
Yeah, totally.
We just heard two different things. We're going to be surprised, but it's according to what people expect.
Yeah. I'm just trying to keep
Little
people
stuff.
off the scent here.
Yeah.
Throw them off the scent here. So, I mean, for me
Trying to
though,
get some information,
this
guys. Come on.
this is literally the first TCG I've ever played. I was introduced to it by Vicious, another fighting game commentator. I wasn't actually intending to try the game, but he was like, "You have to play this," and so I did. And obviously, I have a lot of fighting game background. The actual live action part of it, was very appealing. And then I just got hooked. And I mean, Chop could attest to this as well. Just the learning process that I've had to go through just to figure out how to approach TCGs as opposed to fighting games has been a very educational process.
Yeah.
And,
I was gonna. I very specifically remember we talked a lot about how, like, win rates and winning, and like you were really getting down every time you lost. I was like, no, if you're winning at like 60% in a card game, you're killing it. You're doing great.
And it was funny too, because I remember
For
very
sure.
early on, I was like, man, the balance isn't very good. There's only like three main good decks in like season 1 or 2 or something like that. And people were like, that's really good for a card game. So I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So, it's been really educational for me. And, just especially also, Thirsty Ruiz has been doing a lot of help with me learning the game, as well as Kyle P as well. So, I feel like I've grown a lot in the game. And so, yeah, this actually is my first TCG, but it's just something that I've enjoyed a lot. And I'm really, really glad I started playing this. So it's just a lot of fun.
And
So, Nathan,
overall, like, you guys have both you guys have both streamed the game a fair amount now, right? So what would you say? What would you describe to the people watching or listening that have never actually experienced the TEPPEN stream before? How would you describe it? Let's go with James first.
Honestly, it's very action packed. That's the great thing about the kind of the real timeness of the game, because you actually have the lines, when it's attacked. It's not turn based, and so what you find out is there's a lot of this little extra strategy there on learning when to drop things, activating hero arts, not necessarily just to use the power, but to kill opponent inputs. There was one match that I was playing that I would have won, but my opponent kept spamming action and I couldn't get my hero art off. And as a result, he ended up winning. So there's like little aspects like that are really, really crucial. So what you might expect if you watched a lot of Hearthstone or something like that, this is very different in that you're going to get a lot of this real-time interaction going on. And that's, like I said, that's one of my favorite things about the game.
The classic TEPPEN Aftermath. I would have won, except for the fact that they played cards that countered me. Right?
Built against me.
Exactly.
Only they didn't play cards. I would have won that.
Yeah.
So my answer to that question is, what is it like for it to be in a TEPPEN stream? It's emotional, I think, is probably the best answer.
Yes.
There's a lot of up and a lot of down on every stream, and I mean, even like I was, you're pretty rock steady. You're very consistent, and you generally don't get too rattled with a loss or something going against you. And I applaud you for that. But for everyone else here, myself included, there's a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and there's a lot of times where you can see the writing on the wall and you can't really do anything about it. And it's a whether that's you're about to win or you're about to lose, and there's that time period of like, it's inevitable, and there's like this 8-second window of just like either triumph or just like despair. And I think that's cool. I think it's cool to kind of have a game where there's the fast-paced part like James was talking about, but there's also these windows of just like inevitability, and you get to bask or bathe in sadness for a little bit.
I mean, sometimes that window is you find out your opponent is using GDI, and then you're like, well, I'm done.
I want to see the hard counter. Yeah.
So then I think an appropriate follow-up question would be, what do you want to be on top in the future? Because we will talk about what we want to see in 2021. What do you guys want to see in 2021 for TEPPEN?
Go ahead, Chop. You go
well,
first.
Okay, I gotta be careful here.
Oh, sorry. I don't mean I don't mean to fish for.
Okay, no, yeah, I know you're
Everything
not,
you
but
know
I
now.
have to. Well, and James intentionally didn't let James go first because he intentionally didn't watch a lot of the stuff that's coming up, and I do know some of it. So you go first. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, I mean, honestly, like, I've been trying to keep myself surprised. Like, during the rehearsal, I think they showed some stuff, and I was like, no, I'm going to try to stay surprised about everything. I mean, for 2021, I mean, right now, one of the things that does make me happy, honestly, is that, this game, while red and black are dominating right now, clearly, two of the strongest metas in the game right now, I do feel like the game is actually in a good place right now. Obviously, we need to tweak those things, but again, even when I'm playing in ladder and everything like that, you do run into a bunch of different decks out there. And the fact that I found a purple deck that I really enjoy right now, the Tenkuha deck, and I've just been having a blast with this deck. Obviously I'm going to be biased. I would like to see purple get a little stronger, but just overall, I think that it's in a good place. A lot of the things that I would like to see in the future for TEPPEN would just be more, quality of life things, honestly, because I enjoy the game a lot the way it is right now, and so there's not a lot for me to be like, God, this is such a problem, kind of thing, except for on-play damage, nerf on-play damage. But outside of that, I think we're good, so.
Yeah, well, in 2020 this year, I single-handedly brought spectator mode to TEPPEN, so you're welcome, everyone. It's the power of the pumpkin. Yeah, the power of the pumpkin got us there, and now it's here. So. Yeah, so I've got big aspirations for next year. I may go out in the woods and like carve something in a tree and see if that makes changes happen.
Buff X, dude.
Yeah, I would like
Yeah.
to see. I think I would like to see faster and more timely balance changes for sure. It's the balance changes aren't necessarily bad, but they go a long time, and I would like to see more aggressive tuning. I think even just to try things, right? It feels like that it's very conservative with the balance changes, and that's a design philosophy, and that's a way to do it. But also, like, I would really like to see more aggressive balance tuning, and especially lower power things really getting some buffs just to see what happens.
Yeah.
And it's good to shake things up, I think.
I would like to see a better experimental nature in terms of the buffs, because so far a lot of their changes have been, this is too good, basically kind of remove it from the game, right? I mean, that's kind of what we've seen a lot from like Black Crown's Madness and Beltway and stuff like that. It'd be nice to actually see them try some more experimental stuff.
Yeah, I especially want to see the low power stuff brought up though, because there's some things that have just effectively been dead for the entirety of the game's life, and if there's like, oh, that's a cool idea, well, that'll never work because it's too expensive or just straight underpowered, or there's just a lot of chaff in the cards. Also, this is a nitpicky thing, but I would really like them to not have multiple cards with the same name. It drives me crazy. each version, if you're gonna have X, X, and X, each of them should have their own unique name. All right.
I think we need more of the same name. We need like at least 4 Souls Return. Come on.
Yeah.
Ada Wong, both same mana value.
Cool game, right? So there you go.
Yeah. All right.
Who's next?
All right, I got a question for you guys. What has been your favorite Teppen moment throughout this year? It doesn't have to be like something from you guys playing, or it could be anything, just Teppen related.
Sorry, it's been 10 years this year.
Oh yeah, so you got a lot to work with.
It's weird because it's been 10 years this year, and it's also been like 1 month this year. It's like,
certainly getting asked to come back and do Worlds again was that was a big thing, and knowing that was going to happen and having to not talk about it for a long time was interesting. But I don't know if that counts as an in-Teppen thing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, actually, one of the things that I think probably got me most excited was because I know how stressed out Kyle was trying to get into Worlds and everything. And, when the points all fell into place, he was just outside of it, but fate intervened and he managed to get in there. And, for me, I was just really happy for Kyle. And, I've known him for a long time in the fighting game community. So, I've always been rooting for him. So, having that happen, I think was a really, really cool moment just to see how relieved he was to get in there.
I think there was a period early on this year where I think the game was really at risk of going under, and I think I'm not I don't know anything like financially, not talking about that on the back end, but I'm saying like just the popularity and seeing people playing and watching how many people were playing, and there was a stretch of 3 or 4 months where it was getting pretty brutal, and I think the game has been able to bounce back really nicely from that, and we're in a much better place now. And there's always going to be frustrations and tuning and everything, but I think we're in such a better place now than we were early on in the year. And I saw somebody mention the finals last year as far as it being basically a mirror match of the deck that ran through Worlds. Honestly, how did I feel? So somebody asked how I felt about that, but honestly, I was so jacked up on Dragon Boost, I had a great time. So I was loving it.
Yeah. Also, I guess I could also add too that when they introduced Amy as the hero art, that was cool because previous to that, we hadn't been getting any new franchises, right? It had been all the same stuff, but getting Okami and getting Sengoku Basara added in there kind of opened the door up now. So now I'm hoping we can get everything possible. Like, let's get some Phoenix, right? Let's get some, rival schools. Let's get all sorts of stuff in here. I think that's
some crossovers that maybe aren't by Capcom. Who knows?
Whoa.
I know. I have the answer, but I can't tell you.
Do you guys have time for one more question?
Yeah, we can do one more.
Okay, does Iowa, do you have a question?
Yeah. What fingers do you use to play Teppen?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Left forefinger and left middle finger. I alternate.
You know, interestingly enough, sometimes it just depends on how lazy I am. If I'm holding it one-handed, I actually play a lot of Teppen with just a thumb like this. But if I'm in serious mode, then yeah, usually just one index finger like this.
I'm not that savage to play with just a thumb.
I use both
That's
thumbs.
crazy.
If it's like free play matches, probably just a thumb, you know, when I'm just like trying to grind the daily tasks and stuff like that. But if I'm in ranked and I'm being serious, I have to like, all right, here we go. Get ready.
Dude, Iowa with the brutal question. That's the question you ask your enemy. It's like, all right, which finger do I have to break, dude?
Right?
Before going into the big match, just like you shake their hand, you give them an extra squeeze.
See, that's why I play with the left hand. So the right hand handshake, no damage. It's all good.
Don't touch my
Dude,
special hand.
Put the left hand behind my back when that happens. Yeah.
That's like a Cobra Kai strategy right there.
Dude, it is.
Finger.
Yeah.
So it's this finger, right? Whoa.
People are asking about using middle finger. Well, it's if oftentimes if I'm using two fingers, I'll do the same. I have big hands and long fingers, so I can I'll do one of these, right? If I'm doing two things, yeah. Rather than two-handed, I do it both on one hand. Oh, we got some cat action.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted because TEPPEN World Championship. Cat.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of cats on the TEPPEN World Championship because yours is going to be crawling around. Splendid's going to be jumping up at some point when she wakes up. So
Oh,
that's
I
going to
thought
be
you were.
on the
I
show.
thought you were alluding to the Shield Spire player. So it's like, dog, dude.
Oh, man.
You're looking for anything, and there's nothing to be had. It's the fun.
What I'm afraid of is asking a question because I like to joke. I don't want to like joke and ask a question or like, oh, are they adding this hero? And then it'd be like, dude, what the heck?
Crickets, yeah.
That's the hero. Like, what the heck? No.
Does that mean they're adding X?
Finally. That's the big
Was X
reveal. They're
playable?
buffing X. All right. You guys said you were under like maybe a time restriction, so hopefully we have not taken all of your time.
We are
No,
good.
no.
We do need to take off though because I think 5 minutes is call time for
Right.
us.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
need
5
another
minutes
coffee.
is plenty, dude. We needed an hour and a half to
That'd be
do
pretty
it.
crazy.
I'm just saying right
I'm
now,
excited to hear
know,
you guys.
the only hints I'll give you about
Oh,
what's going to
oh,
come up today
shots.
is get ready for all the Gaia armor. No, I'm just kidding.
You heard it,
I
dude.
think I can actually spoil that much.
There you go.
Oh no.
It was actually a surprise. They're all 32 Gaia armors. They just didn't list them on the site.
Exactly.
Right.
Wow.
Broke the rules and everything. All right, well, guys, thanks a lot. Thanks for coming in during all this chaos. You guys are jumping out of here and
Great.
jumping back into the fray in 5 minutes. So
Yeah,
good luck.
if you-
We'll see you guys later.
Yeah,
Fun
we'll
out
see everybody
there.
on the other side. Hey, there's going to be a post show on, I think, on the official TEPPEN channel after. So if you make
Yes.
it all the way through, if you don't die in the middle of the night, come hang out with us on the back end.
Whoa.
Might not.
Yeah, we'll see if we make it there. All right,
All right, guys.
thanks, guys.
Take
Later.
care.
You there?
All right. Let's get us back to where we were, which was this thing off. Yes.
The room has been disbanded.
I was so ready. I had OBS. We had
Uh-oh.
OBS Ninja set up and everything. It would have been so smooth, but then this whole thing happened. But it's okay. We made the most of it.
That was good. We could fit them in there and
We made it happen.
some questions in.
However,
I was worried they'd be too busy.
it crept up on us. We're 18 minutes away. We might have to cut the retrospective short. That might have to be it.
We can probably do one more set, right? Was there anything else we wanted to do, or?
I wanted to have us kind of talk about what we want to see in 2021 for Teppen, and then we would
Well,
go
I'll
and
make
give
a
our
room.
predictions for who gonna take it.
Yeah. How about I make a room? Whoever joins can play me, and you guys can talk over it.
Yeah, that works.
That works.
Here's the room code: YG5572.
YG.
Yeah.
7-5.
YG
Because he's a really
5572.
good 5 growth unit. That's why.
Batman.
No, not Batman.
No,
Kick him
Bat,
out.
You're a
no.
good friend of mine, buddy, but you already did one. Sorry.
He's
We
flexing.
see 3 more black decks against. I wonder what Chris is playing.
I'm playing decks that were good during Adventures of the Tiny Hero.
Sick.
That's right.
in theory.
ATH.
And of course,
So we got Will.
Will had to join in out of all people. So I guess this is happening.
Well, Jill's pretty weak.
Pretty
Agree.
weak. Get him.
Oh, boy.
Change the reuse theme just for him.
All right.
Oh, he got that nice emblem.
Got the
But he doesn't
Amaterasu
have blue
battle
headband
record.
Ryu or
One
evil
time,
Ryu.
One or. One,
Yeah, if you guys
one
want to set up a
time, one
prediction, go
place.
ahead.
We can do
setting up
prediction.
prediction?
Any predictors?
This is not going to end well for me.
And then the topic discussion we were going for was what would we like to see in TEPPEN 2021? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. What do you want to see?
Who wants to go first?
Ooh, not me.
Iowa, do you want to go first? Do
What would you say, Thirsty? I'm sorry.
you want to go first?
Oh, what I would like to see? Well, I would like to see all of the hero arts to be, not all of them, but most of them reworked, because a lot of the times I feel like there are hero arts or heroes that I just cannot play. You know?
Hmm.
There are tier 2s, there's a lot of tier 3s.
Yeah, I'll admit that when trying to make like just some creative deck, I was going through the hero arts and I'm just like, well, I've never made a deck with Dante before, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's not even that I don't feel comfortable playing some of the hero arts, it's just like I can't really think of any strong synergies with his stuff. It's tough. So I definitely agree. In fact, I would have said that if I had remembered it, because that's one thing I definitely wanted to have done is rework the hero arts.
Yeah, I mean, we have hero arts that were never good, even since the launch of the game. And sometimes we see hero arts resurge through certain cards getting printed, and I'm not a fan of that either. I think it'd be better to rework the hero arts so that they're a little more open to that, so they don't need specific cards, right? Like, you know, for example, Charge Shot had its moment by printing those resonate cards, but the problem with that is it doesn't really make the hero art more interesting or better, because you absolutely have to run those cards. You don't really have any interesting things you can do with it, compared to, you know, like with something like Shinku Hadouken, which has generally always been pretty good. It's because it's open enough that you can do all kinds of different things with it. You don't absolutely have to play like these specific units with it. And that's not always going to be possible for every hero art, but we have a lot of heroes that are stuck in that are required to play certain cards, and if those cards get nerfed, that tends to kill the hero and the hero art.
Yeah, that's what happened to X with Charge Shot. Charge Shot was a problem. They nerfed Charge Shot, but they also nerfed some cards with it, which, yeah, I mean, like it or not, it was a two-pronged approach. It really made sure to keep that hero art and archetype down.
Yeah, and I don't
you
even
wanna go,
really
Matt?
want them to be buffed or nerfed. I just want them to be reworked. Like, I don't want Guy Armor to do what Guy Armor does, and I don't want Charge Shot to do what Charge Shot does. Right? That's how I would like to see hero arts being touched upon.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of where we're at. I know a lot of people have said, "Hey, I'd prefer to see buffs over nerfs," and the way they've been doing a lot of the buffs and nerfs so far have been just changing values, which I think that's why red being overpowered is not too bad, because you can just all their stuff is mostly just through damage, so you can just change that one value for the most part. I mean, there's going to be some things that stick out, stuff like, even if it does 1 damage, Isun's still going to be really good, even if it's 1 damage. You're just poking a lot. But I definitely want to see some effects change. I want to see more balance change, as we mentioned before during the interview. Is we want those balance changes to be more aggressive. I'm down for chaos. Sounds weird to say that, but I'm down for, like, you know, we'll do something crazy. The dev teams that I really have liked in the past have been like well, we'll just do this and see what happens. They're not afraid to shake things up. And I'm already very excited when we have a new card set to like start the game as soon as possible, look at all the new cards, see what I can do, see what the possibilities are. But with balance changes, I kind of want to feel that too, where like, we try something, we buff it up, or we nerf it to see if it works. For example, like when they nerfed Shara, we were like, oh man, here it is, here's the big one, and it was just an HP change. Okay, so I want deeper changes that are, I mean, I guess that's asking a lot, is to really look into these cards and see, well, why is it so powerful? It's powerful because it produces a shield on itself and it gives attack. So okay, maybe one of those should go away. Just like kind of like Bloodbath that had all those effects. Can we just take one of them away? What they did was they just shifted memory counts around and stuff like that, which is fine. But sometimes a card is overpowered because it does a billion things. Maybe not the value of those things, but because it does a billion things. So, just chaos. Give me chaos.
Yeah, I'd rather they like try to shake it up and be like, oh, this doesn't work, and then like just change it again like a month later than kind of be stuck in the same thing for 3 months.
I think it's more attractive to new players, people that have dropped the game. Even if if you stop playing now and then a month later, if you said, "Oh, dude, Gaia armor is overpowered," people would be like, "What the, what the heck? I gotta play this game again. I gotta see what the big deal is." I don't know. They shake it up. They could do something crazy with it.
All right.
And meanwhile, we got
I
this.
can go next on what I want for TEPPEN in 2021. It's more fun modes, less serious rank stuff. We recently had that EXGP where we had the 124 or the 150% mana and AP gain, and that was like the most fun I had with TEPPEN forever. Like that was the most EXGP I probably played. I was just constantly playing it. Even those modes where it's like, oh yeah, this is definitely the easy thing to go with, right? Like most people, and myself included, were like, I'm just gonna play Denjin, and that was really easy wins. But it was also the most I was having fun, like making other decks, right? Because it was different from the meta, and that's kind of the problem with like our GPs and our EXGPs right now, is they a lot of them are still just the meta. And I think it would definitely go a long way to just kind of do a little more of those silly fun modes.
Sorry, I was terribly distracted by the end of that game.
I was also very distracted. That's why I said 124 instead of I don't know where the number 24 came, but I kept looking at the match. I was like, this match is...
Say, spectating. You wouldn't let me start right away. Yeah, I didn't find Sigma until like the last 30 seconds, which is great.
Oof.
Yeah, I saw that.
Kind of needed for that matchup. It's fine though.
The fastest finger challenge on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, dude. It's Will.
Also, Princess Fusei living for 5 minutes. God, I hate that card.
Oh, and a bonus thing
So
I would
stupid.
also like is just things overall toned down. Like, obviously, I want buffs too, but TEPPEN has been power crept really hard. There's too many times where it's just that one thing that you have no answer to that's going to hit you for a bazillion in the face.
Yeah, the modes idea is also top of my list too. But I guess if I want to be more specific with balance changes, I think shifting power away from actions is probably a good idea, at least for a little bit. Actions, as soon as like Haunted by Memories, that was really just the biggest like realization that, hey, actions are really good, memories really strong, overtuned. But ever since then, it seemed like we were doing this thing where it was like, okay, we have an action based new mechanic that's action based, new mechanic that's unit based, like Ascension's unit based, and then we have memories that are, I mean, it's not really a new mechanic per se, but it's action based. So
you kidding me?
I was like, all right, we're gonna go back to units, right? Nah. Actions are
Nope.
always gonna be just in power. So I feel like the hero wars I love the most are the ones that use a lot of oof. Use a
I
lot
got
of
screwed over so hard there. It's not even funny how badly I got screwed over there by that. Like missing the double with Alexia was just awful. Kind of just want a rematch really quick because
the
I should have
run
beat him
back.
there. Like the fact. Whatever.
Oh, Iowa got up. I thought Chris got up. I was like, whoa.
It's just so stupid.
Yeah, we hit a point in terms, just to kind of piggyback what you're saying. We hit a point where actions are just as strong as units of the same mana value, or even worse than that. You'll get actions that are stronger than units of higher mana value, and I feel like that's not great considering blue MP is a mechanic, right? So it's like you have things that are cheaper beating more expensive things that can also take advantage of all this free mana. Stuff just got too strong.
Yeah, it's just too strong. I feel like what was frustrating about HBM is you'd have those decks that were just like constantly stopping the game. Well, that never went out of style. We still have these decks where it's just like action, action, action. Something's not going my way. I need to pause the game 3 times and then be like, all right, now you're allowed to do something. And yeah, the action mechanic does kind of make you vulnerable. Goodness.
Let's do one more, Will. That one didn't count.
They might have to cut us off in 5 minutes, though.
We got 5 minutes.
We have time for one more.
We can still talk over it.
Oh my god, the countdown.
I mean, this is also perfect. This is very much the TEPPEN spirit.
This is the TEPPEN spirit. I
No,
want
that one
everybody to get
didn't count,
amped
boy.
up, dude.
Because you saw me doing those plays. That Alexia 2 should have counted. Like he had the perfect cards every time. This is why I hate playing against Will. I want to play against anyone else but him. Make me sad.
Open the room, anyone but Will. You could have
Anyone
played
but Will.
bad.
I should have kicked him. Should have kicked him. That was my mistake. My biggest misplay was not kicking Will.
To be fair, the channel points, the predictions was pretty even. They believe in you. The viewers believe in you, dude.
That was my biggest misplay. Oh, if I could ever find Signal, he's not just hiding at the bottom because he's afraid.
He's afraid, dude.
I could probably have a chance to win, but it's fine.
But Joe
So
bought me a
He's
new
camera
mic.
shy.
I guess the
What was
last
that?
topic before we go in 4 minutes. Oh my god, I'm freaking out, you guys. 4 minutes. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna be Teppen's greatest champion this year?
I have my money on Earth.
Yeah, a lot of people are
won't.
looking at Earth.
I won't. My mind won't be blown if I'm very wrong, but I have my money on Earth.
Money on
I
Luke,
had to-
dude. Yeah, Earth is certainly the guy to beat. I wish we knew just a little. Even if we knew like the first round for everybody, it would help so much.
Those
Who do I
fast
want?
hands, dude.
I know, it's really crazy.
Kyle and Spooky, for me, have been those players that really stick out for being really, really nice. They're in the streams. They're offering help. They're really nice people that like. I mean, when it comes to competitive games, I honestly think the people at the very top can be really kind of smug, but they have broken that stereotype, and they have been really, really nice. Despite the fact that they're at the very top, they're going to worlds, they're hitting high, ranks on the ladder easily every month, and yet they're still offering to help people out. They're not like, yeah, I'm really good at this game. They are good people. So I want them to come out on top. But there are some really scary new competitors coming out of Japan. Most notably Earth. So who do I want to win? You gotta make me choose between Kyle and Spooky. I plead the fifth, dude. I'm not saying.
If you had to put
You
money,
always
though,
have Wrestler's Bullet.
If I had to put money on
yeah, if you had to put money on it though, who would you pick? Kyle
Killer.
or
I don't know
Spooky?
oh, do you make me pick?
why you're waiting that long, man.
I mean, I'm about to pick, and I have like a lot of players out there that I really like, so I'll put my 2 cents soon.
I think Kyle. It was a recent goal of mine after he beat me in a couple tournaments and I never took a game off of him, that I wanted to take at least one game off of him. He was destroying me in tournaments, and I did take a game off of him in private, and that really meant a lot to me. So he was kind of my rival, my point to beat. So probably Kyle.
Okay. For me, I really like a lot of the JP players. So there's like Taiga, Haikeo, Rana, Earth. And if I had to put money on it, just like Thirsty, I would pick Earth. I feel like Earth has something to show, and I really hope he's in top 4 because I want to see how he performs and see how far he goes. If he made top 4,
It's gonna
we
be a
don't know
shock
that
if he
detail.
doesn't.
Sure will, but I'll root for anybody that's up there. You know, it's gonna be a great time.
Gotta be nice. Well, you asked me if you'd put money on it. No, you gotta be mean now, dude. Who's gonna be in there? Also, it's 2 a.m. They might just cut us off.
Yeah, it is time.
It is time.
Are they live?
I don't know what channel.
It should be on Play Teppen Twitch channel, and it should also be on YouTube.
Play Teppen.
Oh, wait. We will be rating them, right? That just makes the most sense.
Yes.
They're currently not live.
They're currently not live. They're hosting us.
Nice.
This is Worlds right now. Will versus Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have guessed a red versus black matchup at the top?
The good and the ugly.
This is indicative of the meta here. Akuma deck's
I
like
guess we
100
could
moves. I hate it.
stay chilling.
Got the in-game notification, but not live yet. I went to go check my phone, but it's doing spectator mode right now.
I'll check on my phone.
Check where?
Not that we want to get rid of you guys. We want to make sure you get all the information.
Also,
There's
just
a
want to
phone
thank.
notification.
I want to thank
Oh, sorry.
everyone watching. I want
Found
to point
Sigma,
out that this
guys.
is easily our biggest EX podcast episode.
Yes.
We got
That's great
160 people, 170 just shot up. It's crazy.
Holy
It's
crap.
crazy. That's good stuff.
That's
So much, guys.
huge.
It
Huge.
mean a lot.
And I mean, what are your guys' plans for watching the worlds?
I was gonna do it with you guys if
If we're not gonna stream here, I can throw up a stream and just chill and hang out.
I
I'm
always
gonna
just
order
like raid
pizza.
to send them over and then just
Chill.
kind of chill.
Oh my god, he had it. Okay. Tied. Spoilers.
I would like to eat food.
186. That's crazy.
This is not good. This is
180.
not
It
good.
just keeps going up.
Yeah, I'm looking. Oh,
Oh,
okay. I found the link. I'll plug you guys into it as soon as I figure out how.
Take a sip every time someone plays a card that hits a random unit.
Yup.
People don't wanna-
Oh no, thank you.
Thanks.
Yo, I like doing my drinking rules, but that is not one.
What's the plan here? Okay. I
Also,
see.
be sure to tune in, guys, because there's gonna be lots of cool secret art cards you're gonna be able to get by scanning QR codes during the tournament.
Oh yeah.
Basic Dante, basic Akuma, basic
Yeah, well-
Hero. For some reason, legendary.
Well- Tell me. Tell me what you're gonna do.
What?
Come on. Come on. Look at this board, baby. for this board. This is perfection. This is
Double Leo.
beauty. Ah!
And that's what it's all about, dude.
He can bleed. You can kill him.
Ah, dude. Oh, that's sick. Where are we sending everybody?
Out of my room.
Get out
That's right.
of your room, dude. There's the YouTube. Are they live?
They are not live.
Okay.
There's
I
over
get-
200 people here. What happened?
What happened?
They heard Will was gonna lose, so they're like, "Yo, let's go! I gotta see this. I gotta see Will lose."
Still got my points, dude. Yeah, it's
always fun.
it's really interesting with that when it's even because you don't gain too much. But like that one that was like 97% and then 3%, it was like, holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
We chose 15 minutes
What's
late,
up,
so main
pal?
event is on sync now.
We pushed everything. by
You
15
guys have
minutes.
no idea. It was like the audio levels was showing nothing. I could hear the boys in my ear through the headset. It was not showing any bars. So we almost went live with a silent stream. We got together an hour beforehand to figure this out. And yet we were still like 15 minutes late. So just to prove that things can go wrong for everybody.
Sometimes you just don't draw the right OBS settings.
Got
Draw the right
update.
settings.
They are live. I think I saw it live.
On YouTube?
Oh no, now it's not. I thought I saw live on Twitch.
It is live now, but it's on like a please stay tuned screen. They just said at they just said right now that about 10 more minutes.
All right,
So
but the
we got-
Twitch is live.
Oh, the Twitch is live?
Twitch and YouTube is live, yeah. And
Oh,
then
okay,
I
yeah.
don't see it.
I see it.
Anybody
Play
wanting the
Teppen?
link, I have I'll paste it into the chats.
Oh, we can
Yeah, check
just
the
raid
chat, guys,
Play
for the
Teppen.
links. Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's the YouTube link. Go there, and yes, Play Teppen is officially live. Thank you
All
so
right.
much, everyone, for coming by.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. It's really weird to
Blast.
be a part of this official thing, but have it be like we don't know any more than you guys. So we're gonna be. I'm gonna
We'll
raid.
find out
I'm
soon,
just-
though.
Yeah, we'll know very soon. I'm just gonna raid. You guys are gonna find out then and there, and we will too.
Go!
Wait.
Finally!
And we do have
I think
English,
Chris is awake after that
coverage.
last match.
217 viewers. Holy crap.
Turned up.
All right, we'll send you guys over there. Thanks again.
See y'all in the chats.